this right back, Charlie. Against this right back, Charlie.
Actually, people deluded. Make sure you get your Trapaholic keys, man. www.trapaholic.co.uk. Come on, man. Make sure you get it, man. Don't miss out. Come on. Day up. Look, it's all matching the shit.
People deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. Come on.
You always use that active red light defenders. I think it's like. You always use that active red light defenders. I think it's like.
People deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian, man. I'm alive, of course I'm live. Happy Monday morning, people. People deluded. I'm back again. As I said, I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Hope last week was great for you lot. Hope you had a great weekend away from football. Obviously, my Arsenal fans, come on, smash the like button again. Big up my 3-point collectors. It ain't easy. Certain men ain't got no points from an available 6. I know life humbles you, and Arsenal fans throughout the season, there's going to be extreme highs and extreme lows. All that matters is where you start and finish. But if football, whether your team has won, lost, or drawn, is the biggest thing affecting your mood, then you're actually blessed, really and truly. So I hope you're well and safe. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you and your loved ones are in good spirits. And yeah, man, in terms of your ambitions, overcoming hardship, goals, dreams, hopes, aspirations, ambitions, wishing you lot the best of luck. As usual, appreciative of you lot across Twitch and YouTube supporting my content each and every time. Now, again, it's definitely a great Monday morning in the grand scheme of things. Certain man shot on by seagulls, buzzed by bees. It is what it is. They're getting savaged. No points on the board. Whether Spurs should have won or lost, Chelsea should have won or lost is neither here nor there. A draw for both teams dropping points. Arsenal taking maximum points from their available 6 on offer now. There's 36 games left. There's a lot of bumps and bruises. As much as, if anyone can do the invincible thing, it's us, because we've been there, done it, and wore the T-shirt. But we're not going to win every game. Let's be real. We've been great against Crystal Palace and Leicester, but, there should be a healthy space to talk about the good, the not so bad, the good, the bad, and the ugly, or not necessarily ugly, just points of improvement. Focus, game management, concentration. These are things that, we need to move forward with, because against Crystal Palace, we started well. There's many talking points, probably under the cosh a bit too much for large periods of that game, and had they have scored, it would have made it a very difficult outing. Brilliant going forward against Leicester. Won the midfield battle in short, really. Partey's was a bit underwhelming for me. Not bad, but not particularly standout, which he has the quality to. Xhaka bossed it. Odegaard, the press and the intensity, all of them things are going to be there. But that upper echelon of talent and all these things, he could have done a lot better. Defensively, I don't think we was good enough at all. The penalty incident, forget the penalty incident, just the build-up in play. I would say Maddison's goal in particular, because it's come against the run of play. Several players could have done better. Ramsdale is our last line of defense. While I think he could have done better, Zinchenko could have as well. I think Gabriel, the centre-back, could have been a bit braver. And again, it's gone from the middle third to obviously our defense. So it's the whole team collectively. Our first attacker is Ramsdale, which he almost had a great assist for Jesus. And our first defender is Gabriel Jesus. I would say it's easier said than done. And maybe the fact that preseason boys are not fully fit, but we are looking a bit gassed out. You are going to get that with the intensity. So I would say we've got to improve a bit. Really and truly, we gave them goals out of nothing. We did well to go at the other end and score almost immediately, but we gave them goals out of nothing. And when I look at our games last season, many, but I'd say Leeds stands out. I would say Everton away, where like against Leicester, generally we're untroubled, we're untested, we're all over them, but we've presented them with goals. I do even think Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, and United at home, there was elements of that. Yes, we've got a young team, and that's going to happen. People are going to do dumb shit. Obviously, Saliba's the fall guy for the own goal. And I guess he could have done better. Personally, I don't think he's done much wrong. I think him and Gabriel are not talking. I feel Zinchenko's not talking. I think Ben White's not tight enough in the initial build-up play. Ramsdale is a great keeper for me. Well, great, you know what I mean. He's a good keeper. I'm happy with Ramsdale. I like what he brings to the table, but he's 23, 24, and he displays that on times. I think he's got ants in his pants a bit too much, too excited to come off his line, like so with the penalty, because Vardy would have had a lot to do. Fortunately, it was overturned. And obviously for Saliba's goal, I think he's already made his mind up. He's on the back foot. I think them sort of things. And I would say sometimes, like I said, sometimes there's phases of play, which Ramsdale's our last defender, innit? He's our last line of defense. Before it gets to him, I have to ask questions of really the other 10 players. But I think sometimes near post, he could get there at times. I definitely think it's through his legs. He could have done better for Maddison's goal, but it is what it is. 6 points on the board. Many ways to go up. And for me, I see that as potential, really, because we always talk about winning when, I wouldn't even say we haven't played well, but we always talk about winning when we've not necessarily played well, or when certain players, let's just say Odegaard and Saka, aren't the men of the match. We've got the results, so the only way should be up. And for me in particular, the first 9 points that are available in the Premier League are the ones of most encouragement to me, because last season, I know the fixture list is different, but we had no points from 9 in. It was barely struggling to score. So we're scoring goals. We look more confident. Everybody looks to be buying into what Arteta's got, and I hope that continues, really. So far, so good. 36 more games, 36 more game weeks. We don't know what's going to happen, really, but it's nice to see, obviously, Tierney, Tomiyasu, these guys, Smith Rowe as well. These guys are getting up to fitness, and, we've got decisions to make over the starting 11, much less the bench, which many Arsenal fans think we could do with more depth, and there's question marks over certain players. Rightly so, I wouldn't have cried in that game if Tierney and Tomiyasu came back in, but I also wouldn't have cried if what happened in the exact same lineup. You've got your spot, don't lose it. Again, I don't think Matt Turner's talking to Ramsdale, but there's spots up for grabs, really and truly. And I think every player that started the game, obviously the subs did well. Everyone did well. They all deserve to start. And, I couldn't cry if Arteta doesn't change it in who's the next game. It could be Fulham. I'm not even too sure. It could be Fulham or Bournemouth. I think we got Fulham, in no order, Fulham, Bournemouth, Aston Villa to come. I'm not going to be doing watch-alongs for any of those games, but you'll get reactions in that. Smash the like button, people, and all of those things. As usual, one love for you lot, support on the best of days as well, folks, man. 46 likes. We're off to a good start, man. Can we close into 200? Saliba didn't do anything wrong, just miscommunication with Ramsdale. Minor error, exactly. It's not a criticizing thing. It's just to go to that next level. And I think collectively as a team, the same way we're obviously Jesus turning on the style, Martinelli can't be stopped. Odegaard and Saka, Smith Rowe, these guys on their day, they're lit. Fabio Vieira's not played at anything, but I love the way Mikel Arteta is speaking about him. And while he hasn't kicked a ball, he looks like one of them technical footballers. So, we're doing well. But the same way we love all of that, we have to learn to want to keep them clean sheets to that level as well, because I don't think we love clean sheets. As I always say, we're an improved defensive side, definitely, but we're not necessarily a good defensive side. And that's what we need to get onto. Again, we focus on the positives. We make the positives better. We talk about the areas of improvement. And that's what it should be. It should be a neutral discussion, not when Arsenal win, just waffling about stuff, or when we lose, talking about things, because there's certain things that will be highlighted more on a better day. But so on, so good. We're moving in the right direction. For me in particular, I want to have a strong August as well, because it is a favorable run of fixtures, if you could say that, really. Not that you can say anything about the Premier League. The beauty of it is you never know what's happening on the match day, really. So yeah, let's just hope, let's just keep going, really. Zinchenko was good as well. I'd say in particular for me, folks, I would say Granit Xhaka, Gabriel Jesus, obviously, Martinelli and Zinchenko. I think they were amazing in that game. Not that they was alone. There's no Iron team, but I just feel they were quality. They were a class above everybody else, in my opinion, man. Eddie has been pictured boarding a Ryanair flight to Valencia, Spain. Do you think he's tying up a deal for Yeremi Pino? I hope so. But who's to say he's not gone for a short break with his wife or something? I don't know. I hope so. I hope a midfielder's getting in. Been praying for a stat padder like Jesus for years. Trust me. I love Jesus because, big up Aubameyang, but we were prepared to just overcompensate on the fact that Aubameyang scores goals. I don't think his general play is horrible, but what we're accustomed to see is not what we wanted, isn't it? Lacazette, from open play, Jesus in his second game has already done better. That tells you he was in the gutter. That tells you he was overcompensating on what a modern-day striker, much less a top-six striker, should have. General play, swagger on the ball, all these things. Lacazette had passion. Jesus has got that, but it's a minor because he's got everything else. And I think Jesus combines both of them. You know, there's so much upside to Jesus. The man's the leader. He's going to keep leading. He's going to have bad games. He's going to keep getting better. I like to always judge it on what strikers do when they're not necessarily playing well. You know, everyone knew Jesus was going to open his account at the Emirates. He did that. But I look at the Palace game. Had a very good game without goals or assists. And again, Jesus can score, can assist. He's very humble. There's a lot of upside. You know, again, he's 25. Let's be real. If he keeps doing what he's doing, we might have a decision to make where we could sell him for some serious money that could be used to reinvest and do other things. Obviously, we've tied him down. For me, Mikel Arteta is so far, you're spending money and we're seeing what you want in it. Like, for a number of years, well, I say a number of years, since Arteta's been here, and we're still not there yet, we struggle to score goals generally, not of this season so much, but generally, historically, struggle to score goals, struggle to create, struggle, just all the passing metrics and attacking metrics weren't kind. Maybe with these sort of players, and I listened to Mikel Arteta's press conferences, I kind of do get the vibe that I wouldn't say he didn't believe in previous guys, but he really thinks I've got certain players that I can really maneuver with. We've been praying for this for time, innit? And for me, the positive is there's several levels we could go up. Like, take the positives of Crystal Palace and Leicester, but focus on the negatives. Again, if you just work on what you're good at and turn it great, that's great. But if you don't work on your weaknesses, you're not going to be all-rounded, are you? If I'm a good ball-playing keeper, you know, in the modern day, I'm good with my feet, passing range, but I get beaten at my near post easily. If I don't improve that, I'm not going to get better. So I think there's several things. I think game management, the tempo of the game, not allowing teams a bit more encouragement, because I think when you look on the grand scheme of things, more so Palace than Leicester, probably been a bit even than warranted, really. And definitely there was elements of nerves against Leicester. I was like, okay, what's going to happen here? Like when Xhaka scored, that was the timing of the goal, really put my mind to ease, if I'm honest with you. But so far, so good, man. So far, so good. It is what it is. And for me, it's just nice to see got some bloody good players you can actually believe in. I'm not saying they're world class, they're the best ever. They're gonna, you know, nothing can go wrong, because it will. But it's just nice to have players you believe in, man. Like it's for me with these sort of things, the standards are up now. Let's be honest. Jesus, I would say for me, Jesus, Ramsdale, Tomiyasu, I love them all. But when they've all walked into the club, they've not had much to do to convince me they're the guys, because the bar's been on the floor. We just spoke about that with Lacazette. Shout out to Ben White, because he's been doing well at right back. But historically, Tomiyasu, I haven't felt this confident in a right back since we had Lauren better yet, or Sagna, really. Ramsdale, I like him. I know there's a lot of rough errors, and credit to Leno, but we've actually got players that do the competencies, and that we've been robbed of that. We've had strikers that can't score, midfielders that can't pass, defenders that can't defend. And we're getting players who are doing the opposite of that now, aren't we? So we're doing all right, man. But so far, so good. We need to keep going. It could be worse. We could have spent 56 million on Rey Mysterio, the butcher. Got butchered, got stung by bees. It's long, innit? Second manager in the week to say we targeted that guy. Boy, it ain't easy, man. It ain't easy. We'll let that happen to me, though. It's all good, man. But yeah, that's the first timestamp. Rest of the reaction. What are you lot saying? Keep your opinions coming, people. As you might clock, Sly lost my voice. Signs of a good weekend. And I'm trying to get it back. But yeah, man. I hope we sign a midfielder. Otherwise, Arteta hasn't learned anything from last season. You'll have more games, meaning more injuries. A quality number 8 would give us more options. Trust. And if you're not going to bring one in, I need to see it fixed internally, whether you groom Odegaard and Fabio Vieira in the short to medium term to be able to do that. You get a tune out of Lokonga like in pre-season. Not really the number 8 I want to see, but we have to fix it internally, really. I would say just long-term Smith Rowe to be able to play there as well. So let's see what these men are on in it. But so far, so good. Deej, if we wait for Tielemans until next summer, you think we won't get another centre mid this window? To be honest, that would not be smart. I hope Tielemans' thing isn't really correlated, but I think it personally, for me, I think it'd be dangerous to wait for a midfielder for the summer. It's all great if Tielemans signs a year from now. That's great. We waited on Saliba to finally get his chance. What's a year? But that's irrelevant, you know, in November, in December, in September, you know, God forbid if something happens to Granit or Partey or they're in negative bits of form. We're in the same scenarios, really. The only negative at the moment is that Arteta makes his subs too late. I mean, I hear you and I agree with you, but in the last 2 games, I don't think he did. I think he brought the subs on at the right times, really and truly. Definitely in the Crystal Palace game. Don't get it twisted. I agree. I wanted, when we was getting, you know what it was against Palace. I wanted El Nene on so quick. But he brought Eddie on at the right time, Tierney on at the right time. Against Crystal Palace, he brought people on at the right time. The first thing is 3 points. The gaffer has to get 3 points. You know, if he feels that the players on the field are the ones, cool, he deserves what he's doing. We do want Tomiyasu, Tierney and these lot to get fit, but you can't just bring people on for the sake of it, really and truly. And you can't do what ifs. Nunes' goal yesterday was an exceptional run and finish. He's looking to have a great long spell. I mean, he made a great run off the ball. It's great for Tavares. He's playing in a back three in a system that promotes something out of your fullbacks. You know what Tavares has, but I'm not really. It's not that I'm not impressed by it. I'm happy to see what he's doing. We know that's Tavares' strengths. I don't need to know about your strengths. I need to know your weaknesses. What will make or break Tavares is having a future here is his 1v1 defending, his ability to, his positioning, his ability to communicate, his confidence, which you want to see him look more all-rounded. He's at that stage, but we know Tavares has that. We know he's very much the modern-day fullback, needs no introduction to get forward. If he marries that with his raw components and works on what he's worked on, we could have the best of both worlds in that you've got Tavares and Tierney fighting at left-back, the luxury still of Zinchenko. If not, things have to happen, innit? We definitely need another centre mid. Are we going to get him? Because we are not that strong. In fact, we need 1 or 2 players. With Tierney back, maybe Arteta will rely on Zinchenko in midfield. He basically plays there anyways, and he's been good so far. That's another one. You know, you've got Zinchenko, Fabio Vieira, Martin Odegaard, Smith Rowe. We're losing count of Dons that can play there. You know, there's flexibility. And for me, when there's actually good players now, there's flexibility. You can do several things with Ben White's versatility, with actually Tomiyasu's versatility, with Zinchenko's, with Fabio Vieira. You know, you want to see these players lock down one row and then be able to do other things. But with that, with Odegaard, with Smith Rowe, with Martinelli, with Jesus, to a degree, with Eddie Nketiah, and I'm probably missing out about with Smith Rowe, Saka as well. Probably missing out a couple of players there, man. Few young players still edgy, but it's looking very, very good. Amen, Steve. Shout out DS World. Smash the likes like 88 has said. Appreciate the Melbourne, Australia ones tuned in. Appreciate that, broski. Morning, DG. Smash the like button. There's 200 of you locked in. We should have 200 likes. Morning, DG. Do you have any early predictions for the Europa League? Because I don't think we're winning it. I just got that feeling. I can't predict anything. I don't predict anything with Arsenal. I just accept everything for where it comes, and we deal with any win, lose, draw, or any talking point when it's presented directly in front of me. Anything less than the final / winning the Europa League for us, for Man United, and any team that drops down to the from the Champions League within reason is failure. Sambi was good in the 8. So, yeah, boy, if you're not going to bring an 8 in, you need to fix things internally. I'm not really with... Look, for where I want to go right now, I don't think Lukonga's the answer at the number 8. But if the gaffer knows more than me, which he does, do your thing in it. I think people are forcing it. There's not really a big case study to go off of Lukonga in the number 8 role, but I can't tell people what to think. Just to think. I hope we fill at least one more position before the window closes. Big up yourself, Lewis. Appreciative to you. What else are you lot saying? It's nice to watch Arsenal again after years of stress. No, I'm not deluded to think this. Just happy to see good football. Why isn't Edu flying Emirates? You'd have to speak with the logistics team at Arsenal, Edu, or any close ones to Edu. I don't have a clue. Shout out you lot. I don't have a flying monkeys, mate. Maybe they just wanted to be cost effective, really. You know, is it really worth getting an expensive flight really to Spain? I know these lot are accustomed to the high life and the flash life and stuff, but you know, if you're rich, how are you going to stay rich? By doing the right things. You know, that's a quick flight, really, wasn't it? Well, Barca probably did it on purpose, not by choice. But Conde, did he not get a short haul flight when he was signing for Barca? I'm not too sure. So we'll have to see how that one develops, really, in the days and weeks to come. We can't go through the season with 3 first-team healthy wingers, especially when 2 will probably go to the World Cup. What do you mean? Xhaka being able to play left-back gives a great dynamic between Zinchenko and him. It allows Zinchenko to move how he wants. Exactly. I wouldn't say play left-back, but surveil it. We lack a critical number 8 or someone who plays like Kevin De Bruyne, who takes his chances and passes when needed. And also we need a 6 who's fit to style play. With El Nene signing a new deal and Lukonga, I don't think we was ever going to buy a 6. As I said at the start of preseason, for me personally, I wanted 2 number 8s and a 6. I just wanted to revamp the midfield. You know, I wanted to give Lukonga the luxury. I'm happy with El Nene being a squad player, but if we're honest with yourselves, you know, you could upgrade on that. I like Thomas Partey as a footballer. You can't really bet on his fitness. And Granit Xhaka, I've never doubted his integrity. I do think he has, pardon me, skills to offer this team and be used in the squad. But I do think that needs a bit more upgrading. But when you're playing like that, he's telling everyone to shut up, man. 2 teams around us dropping points again. Exactly. So when it's our time to drop points, it all depends how far you fall in it. So when we maximize our points, not that you ever want to lose and things, but you give yourself a certain sort of level and grounding. And we saw how crucial that could have been because, you know, you had to try really hard not to get top 4 last year and the year before that. And actually, you're in the Emirates. We got to remember, this is the battle of the inconsistent. That's why man are fighting for 4th. If you're a consistent team, bar the obvious, unless you could say you've got a prime Invincibles, United, Chelsea side, and whatever in front of you, you fight for 4th because you haven't got consistency to go beyond that. And you've seen that with Tottenham last year. Obviously, they got their act together ahead of us, with United, with the Hammers, and so on and so forth. And it's going to be the same. DG, look for Zinchenko to play the 8 once Tini's fit. That is something, but I'm not going to lie. Zinchenko could do it. But the only thing I would say that concerns me, it's not that Zinchenko can't defend or he doesn't put in the shift. I think it's a bit lightweight, rocking up. In certain games, it can run. But in certain games, Zinchenko, Odegaard, Partey, it's going to get moved to. And it's nothing to do with them not being good or not. And I think that's one luxury I give Xhaka over Zinchenko because you look at their metrics, they're actually not that dissimilar. Whether you think one's a better player or not is a completely another matter. But one thing I give Xhaka, he's a bit more rugged. He's a bit more thuggish in that regards. And I think we're going to miss that really. But, you know, different games, different options. Free Pepe, I mean, free up yourself, man. You got a new agent, get on the line and bust out really. Really and truly, you deserve to go somewhere. You got to wait a hot minute until Europa League gets involved. Europa League, you'd expect him, El Nene, Lokonga, those that are starving for minutes at this moment in time to play that. We need another keeper, DG. Unless you're going to bring in someone better than Ramsdale, I think it's a myth. Matt Turner, it is what it is. I mean, if you could loan Lokonga out where he could get 20, 30 games, then why not? But if you're not going to bring in a 6 and an 8, then I don't think Lokonga should go in it. I think Lokonga stays if only one midfielder is brought in. But then you are hearing we need to let players go, and maybe one could go in midfield. Like there was rumours today about Xhaka departing. I mean, to be fair, this summer you haven't really heard Xhaka departing summer, but this season. But it wouldn't be an Arsenal one. That's every season. Let me guess, Roma or something. But let's see, man. Let's get the likes up, people. Thoughts on Odegaard? Bad boy footballer. Sick. I rate Odegaard. Technical ID. 40. Think Arsenal fans are beginning to love him. Think they were quite harsh. I don't want to say underwhelming, but could play a lot better and bring a lot more to the table than he has at the moment in these 2 games. But I love Odegaard. I think I'm not worried about him at all. Very good signing. 30 million euros as well. A lot of upside. Leader, technical lit. You know, presses well. Obviously, it's not what we're accustomed to calling working hard in England, where you're doing the Declan Rice thing. It's a bit Mesut Ozil-ish, but I like it, man. Happy with Odegaard. Want to see a lot more. I only ask a lot more from players who I think and believe have that capacity to do more. The others, I'm just going to ask you to be the best that you potentially can be in everything you do, innit? I think Odegaard's lit, man. I do want to see more goals and assists. I would say more goals and assists from Odegaard, but I'd say more importantly than that for me, I think he's got, like someone said, Kevin De Bruyne. He's not Kevin, and he plays in the 10. Kevin's playing in the pivot. But I think for us, Odegaard can do that. Like, he can really run the show. A bit, not Santi, but that sort of angle. I really think he could do that in the short to medium term and obviously long term. And I really kind of want that from him. But if Odegaard is wanted by the gaffer to play 10, obviously he helps lead the press with Jesus, Saka, Martinelli, and obviously behind him, Granit. That's cool. I'm a fan of Odegaard. I rate Odegaard. I'm very biased towards Odegaard, if I'm honest, just because he's lit. Obviously, he's not going to get bare goals and assists. He's not going to dance past the whole team and that. He is one of them where certain games when it's a bit thuggish, he can go a bit missing. But yeah, man, it is what it is. Tini no longer in the captain hierarchy. It's not looking good for your boy. All right. Okay. Tini FC, what now? Cool. You're saying that in August, yeah? Cool. When Tini reminds you. I got nothing more to say. How do you think Smith Rowe will be used this season? Like Arteta says, you get fit, you're in the team. I want Odegaard to control games more and dictate more games. Exactly. Do you think Saka is looking a bit underwhelming? I mean, he set himself high expectations. Anytime Bukayo Saka isn't scoring or whatever, Saka, suck yourself, you twat, bro. Sorry, bro. Tierney FC, I don't care. I don't care. Tierney can play 5 games. I don't care. It's Tierney FC. Shout out Zinchenko. Shout out what everyone else is doing. I don't care. Tierney's my guy. He's lit. Arteta knows this. Just wait on him. Just wait. Less said, the better, man. I don't feel sorry for Pepe. Beyond the obvious, everyone deserves the chance to feel confident and want to get minutes. But I care. The collective comes first. If we've got 6 points and other players are playing well, then I can say, oh, why couldn't Pepe get 5 minutes or something? But I don't really care. It's when Arteta's tactics are not working, players are not playing well, people are doing dodgy things. That's where I sit there and go, okay, maybe try something. He could get a look in, try something else. I'm not too sure around that. So. Yeah, man. To be honest, Arteta could never do any right. You win the game, it works. Oh, we never made subs. This guy didn't play. And I hear that it's valid, but the 3 points and the collective is all that matters first. Then we look at everybody's individual BS, better yet. For me, anyways, Partey cover is essential. I mean, last year, a part of our season going down the toilet was if Tierney, Tomiyasu, and Partey are injured. And it looks like where Tierney, and Tomiyasu are concerned, you've got Ben White and Zinchenko. You can think them two are better or whatever. For me, they're better defensively than the options that were displayed last year. They don't kill us going forward. I think Cedric and Tavares kills the balance, really. Tierney FC in this place, Pepe ship has sailed. How much is Saka worth if Gordon is going for 50M? Boy, what you can finesse. To be honest, Arsenal don't look like they can finesse, really, so we might shag ourselves. 96 likes, people. 104, and we've done what we're doing. Teams are doubling up on Saka. I mean, we've known this for the best part of 18 months. Saka will find his feet in terms of goals and assists. He's doing everything else well. It's when players are not getting in positions. They're not linking up. They're not pressing well. Saka defended very well against Crystal Palace, and he's played a part in the own goal. I think he played well against Leicester. There's a lot to come from him. I'm not worried about Bukayo Saka or anybody, really. Because even without it, allowed the agendas, Partey is an issue also as well. What do you mean by Partey an issue? Tierney is going to fight for his place. Believe that, as they all should. Defo, a Spurs fan. I mean, I don't know if I can believe that, but I've been a season ticket holder of Spurs since 1978, and I can admit Tierney is better than any fullback in London. I don't know if you're actually a Spurs fan. You might be Arsenal in disguise, but you're aiding my agenda in it, so we're going to run that in it. Propaganda settings. Partey ain't an issue. I think Partey not being there is an issue. I do think Partey's could have been a bit better against Palace and Leicester. Really, like there's been times like last year, Xhaka was playing out of his skin and Partey looked a bit meaty. There was times Partey, especially them times there, he was the lone 6. He was moving mad. I think for me, Partey's the passing's a bit bugged at the moment, Uncle, but it's cool, man. And that could only be a positive, really. We're putting in performances, we're winning. Again, it's 2 games. Let's not get excited beyond the obvious. And we're expecting a lot more from players. So if they do that, we're in a good start, man. Agenda FC, I'm here for that, man. I really want us to complete the signing of Tielemans. Trust. DG, would you drop Ben White for Tomiyasu? At this moment, I don't think so. But I can't lie. If Tomiyasu is fit and he says, Gaffer, I'm fit, the medical team signed him off, I don't think Ben White deserves to lose his spot. If Ben White played, I wouldn't be concerned. But Tomiyasu makes me feel a lot better defensively, especially against Crystal Palace and especially based on the 2 goals we conceded against Leicester. But Ben White gives us a lot going forward, man. I can't lie. Tierney's a good player. I think he needs to start the next game. Need another centre mid forward and winger. Injury-wise, look at the games played with both of them. It's about the same. Not feeling Tielemans, never have liability. That's a bit harsh. I like that Destiny and Doggy guy. He's lit, man. You've seen the vids. I've spoken on him before. I think Spurs are just looking at. I wanted Ben to call Kulusevski and then Doggy, and they have moved to London. They signed for the wrong teams. I think he's got a lot of upside. I think he's got a gaffer, Italian link up in Conte. I think he's lit. Still elements of being raw, but that Destiny and Doggy brothers lit still. I like him. The Emirates vibes are incredible. Can't wait to go to a game. And that's what it should be, man. That's what it should be, man. Big up everybody tuned in. That's exactly what it should be, man. DG, you can only choose one type of midfielder, 8 or a 6. What, right now? Like, right now? An 8. It's good that we don't have to rush injured players back as well. Amen, bro. White and Zinchenko more better attacking wise. Of course, Zinchenko's an 8/10 by trade. He's got more variety to his game. Tini's just basic left back, down the wing, put the cross in, over hit to the front post, under hit to the front post, over hit to the back post, over hit to the front post as well, back post, both of them in it. You know what Tini's thing is, so I'm here for it, man. We need different options. DG, you saw Jesus talking to Tielemans, covering his mouth after the goal. Nope, but I hope he was being an agent as well. I love how every fan applauded Saliba after he scored an own goal. That's what you need to do, man. Don't change your winning team, DG. I mean, that's flawed logic, if I'm completely honest with you. You're right. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But when you go on a run of form, you have to change things. Because what happens when you rock up against Crystal Palace, which we did, where at that time, Xhaka advanced 8 was working. You rock up to Palace. What's his name? Tavares is playing left back. Xhaka's playing an advanced 8. There's gaps in the team. So you need to find that balance of when to change it. You don't just leave things and say, oh, let's just keep using it. And then when it doesn't work, then change it. But at the same time, it's not that deep. There is it. It is what it is. Wouldn't say White is better attacking wise. I think he is, you know. I think when you look at Ben White as a footballer, ironically, even though he is a defender, his strengths, you probably list a lot more of the attacking traits before you look defensively. What else are we saying? Interesting comments, people. Interesting comments, nonetheless. Shout out, Rochelle. Where's your comment gone? Shout you. My voice is moving mad. Say Teeny again for the man at the back. Teeny! I need to stop shouting. That shit hurts. To be honest, Chelsea showed me that we have to push harder. They never gave up with big differences going against them. Goal difference will play a big part, as we know. Spurs will slap teams with their big bench. Right. Don't see an issue with tweaking a winning team. Every opponent is different, and we need to cater to that. Exactly. There's going to be times, bro, where you're going to need Tomiyasu. You know, we're going to need to. Tomiyasu's more give and go. He's more steady Eddie. It's cool, man. It's cool. I like Tomiyasu. Because what Tomiyasu gives me, he's switched on defensively, especially when teams try to pull it over our fullbacks' heads. It all depends what you want, man. But it's good options. It's good. It's good options, man. It's good options. We've come a long way from Willian as a false 9 and Mustafi and all these sort of things, man. It's crazy. What are you, man, saying for Bournemouth away? Away games, I still got that fear, but it is what it is, man. Have to disagree with Ben White offering anything. The reason why Saka isn't performing, he doesn't overlap, something he should learn, was weak on the first goal and get sucked in easily, of course. But I didn't say Ben White doesn't offer anything, and I can't, you know, a next man, that don't make sense, bro. You can't, what, so Saka, who's had to fucking thrive with Cedric at left back, at right back, it's all on Ben White. If Saka is or isn't performing, first and foremost, it's down to the individual. You can't say that, really. And I think if you watch the game again, I'm not saying Ben White overlaps at every occasion, but he does quite a lot. And you need to think about the balance of the team. Clearly, Arteta said Zinchenko, Ben White, you lot go and do your thing. Xhaka's going to advance. Partey's going to be there. You kill the balance if everybody flies forward. Saka's being the narrow one and going inside, and Ben White's he's more making the underlap. Saka started slow last season as well. Colma, early North London predictions. How far is that? We got so many games ahead. Let's just deal with whoever's next. I can't. How can I look at the North London derby already? It don't make sense. Zinchenko and Xhaka has given the right balance to have attackers transitioned here. Wondering if Teta has been rewatching Xhaka Gladbach. I mean, are we really surprised? The moment Arteta walked in, he said Granit Xhaka is a key player, and there was rumours they tried to get him at City, whether they're right or wrong. So is there any surprise he's going to be utilising him? 122 likes. We're moving. I don't know where Ben White don't offer nothing. Ben White has been a flop signing. I mean, Ben White probably could be used in midfield, but I ain't trying to see that. Man said Fabio Cazorla. White put that ball in for the third goal. It was lucky, but still needed. My concern is that Arsenal started so well that they won't feel they need to bolster the team anymore, similar to what happened in January. Well, so if you do that, you're going to be in problems, aren't you? Because we're playing Bournemouth next, I think we should bring in Tomiyasu and Smith Rowe and Vieira to start to change it around. How fit is Smith Rowe and Fabio Vieira, though? I agree with the Tomiyasu one. I wouldn't start messing around with the midfield and that currently. Bro, how was last night E16? You're not hearing the voice. How do you know? I don't even remember. I was lit. Did I put it on my socials? I still remember horrendous days of Mustafi and Socrates partnership. We've really come a long way. I hear that. I don't know, man. Could you say Ben White hasn't justified the price tag? Is there more to come? Of course, but flop is a bit harsh. Everyone's allowed their opinions, I guess. Xhaka making third man runs reminds me of Pecan Ramsey. I saw you. Hey, which is that my guy, or did you say is that my bro, or is it, I think I know who that is, or is that a stranger? If you should have said well, go on. If it's who I think it is, nah, it's not. Can't even talk to you, tough man. I'm not scapegoating anyone, but it wouldn't be Arsenal fans without having to. You know, some people just want to draw someone out for no reason, man. I don't listen. Anyone that thinks he's a flop, it is what it is. I feel like we are hyping Saliba too much. Again, who is we? I hear you, but I can only speak for myself. I don't know if you're talking in general. I'm talking for myself. I think I've said everything I have to offer on Saliba, innit, really. So I don't know about none of that, but he's been all right. Ben White has been 5 or 6 out of 10 for us. There's more to come. For me, I just think Ben White has to learn to think like a defender. He's very much the modern day. Like Ben White, I don't think he necessarily wants to defend. I think he wants to do the other things. I think he likes to defend. I think he wants to get forward and beyond the ball. I'm happy with Ben White. Just need to see a bit more, really. He's doing okay. I don't know. Overpriced, yeah, but flop is a bit harsh. Has he justified the price tag? Probably not. Could you be underwhelmed? Could you want a bit more? Yes, but I wouldn't say a flop. Flop is Cedric for me. You have no confidence in Cedric. Flop is Marie for me. 40 million, very expensive. No confidence. Flop, flop is for Pepe, really. And I think it's even harsh to call him that. Like, you've underwhelmed, but I think you're decent. But you're a flop, really and truly. Who else? On the grand scheme of things, Lacazette was a flop, really and truly, as harsh as it is. You know, that's a man that we signed, a French international, off the back of a 20-plus goal season. We started talking about working hard and link-up play. Mazza. Ben White is a million times better than Cedric. Smash the likes, people. Get up to 200 for the news. Amen. Still need another quality striker. We are one injury away from Eddie starting. I mean, that's Arteta's bed. He's made it. He's got a lie in it. Everybody staying fit in this club is a myth. You know, we've been here. How often do you think White will start as a centre-back DG? He'll get his chances, but right now there's problems, isn't it? Right now, nobody gets in ahead of Gabriel and Saliba. If someone's spot is going to get finessed, it'll probably be Gabriel's, in my opinion. But one luxury over Gabriel, he's the only left-sided, out-and-out left-sided thingy. Is Tierney a flop? Serious question. It's clearly not a serious question if you're asking that. Like, it's not. But yeah, there's problems because if Tomiyasu's back in, there's issues. But you need partnerships. We need Gabriel and Saliba to keep blossoming. We need Ben White and Gabriel to build on last season. You know, we need Ben White and Saliba to find a thing in centre half. We need different relationships. We need, you know, Saka to have a good relationship with Tomiyasu. The same with Ben White behind him. The same with Zinchenko and who's ever on the left, whether that's Martinelli, Smith Rowe, whatever, or if Tini's in there and whatever. You need a partnership from certain midfielders. Certain things, man. Crazy. Real agenda, bro. How can serious questions only, man. Fair enough, though. Fair enough, man. If Tierney's a flop, then you got to point questions at Partey. Then has Partey justified his price tag? We know the quality is there, but I don't think Partey's a flop. But if we're gonna do the silly thing, can't lie. Teeny owes me some royalties, man. You would think we're family members. I better be able to come to your yard for a fried Mars bar from Mumsy or something, man. Some authentic Scottish food or something, really. NFC fullback union, man. We ride together, we die together. Pause. Xhaka is the biggest flop. I mean, whether you like Xhaka or not, how could you call him a flop? There's been three different, whether you like him or not, or there's question marks over his ability. Granted, Xhaka cannot be a flop. You know, he starts every week for Arsenal Football Club. There's been about three gaffers that all use him. He's been utilized in multiple roles. Do I think he's the answer? Do I think we could upgrade? Do I think he should be a squad player? Nothing more. Yes, but let's not be silly now. Let's not be silly. Just because you don't like a player or he underwhelms doesn't mean he's a flop. Are we just using this word for any player we've got question marks over? What are we talking about? Willian, evident flop. We're just, or are we just chatting? I would have called Xhaka a flop, but he's become a key part of their team. Which again, then you can't be a flop there, can you? Like, hey, you can say you're not the lick, but you're not the guy. But boy, you can ask question marks, but there's as much as whatever you say about him, there's got to be a reason. You know, whether you could say that's probably their demise, but Arsene Wenger knows everything. Unless there's someone else knows more about football than all of us. Emery knows more about football than all of us. Arteta knows more about football than all of us. Jose does, and he wanted him at Roma. There's got to be something, you know. I don't really care what they know or don't know. You're allowed your opinion, I am, but there's got to be something in the man. Really, can't be that bad. Should we upgrade on that? Ultimately, yes. Are we making our bed and lying in it to a degree with the current pivot of Partey and Xhaka? I believe so. I think you could. You still could have got top 4 of it last year, but I think you can only get so far, especially when you look at what other pivots have to offer. But it is what it is. Richarlison looked really good yesterday coming on as a sub. Should have signed him too. Almost never gets injured. We're not going to spend 60 million on that, are we, man? All right, shout out Relly Ren. Don't forget how well we started last season. But you man are shit though. Really, why are you running? Why are you not answering the phone? Well gone for United. What happened? Where's Jaden? Where's Jaden Sancho? You might as well leave him in West. Kennington's not that far. What happened to Ten Hag? You think because he's bold he was going to do the pep thing? What's going on, big man? What's Rey Mysterio in defense? What's going on? Second manager in a week to say we're targeting Lisandro Martinez. What happened to De Gea? You think you can play out from the back with that? Certain man brought in Ramsdale. Certain man rubbed out Joe Hart before he kicked a ball. But man want to play out from the back with De Gea. I hear that. You thought this is Eredivisie? Get out of here, man. Get out of here, Relly. Make sure you're all taking him in on Spotify. He's a good rapper. He's a shit football fan. Glory, man. You know, I said you twat, mate. Yeah, twat. Get out of here, man. Butchers getting butchered and shit. Allow that, man. I don't know, man. Welcome to the Prem, mate. You thought you was coming here. You thought your gaffer was just going to play mad triangles. Allow it, man. And we both know you. We are in the same WhatsApp group. You was getting gassed that you played Crystal Palace's under 9s, bro. Half of them guys haven't even got their COVID injection. They couldn't go to preseason, and you look get excited. You were saying Martial's back and all this foolishness. Rashford this and that. Allow it, bro. Allow it. I don't hear nothing from you. Like, man, that shit, man. Allow it, bro. The beef is always kicking. The beef is always kicking, man. Appreciate you lot for tuning in. Ryan, appreciate that super chat. Just seeing that, my bro. Did you see Barca trying to get 25 million for Aubameyang? Finesse gods. I respect it. If they finesse that, it's great. Certain man tear up contracts. Certain man do a mazza in it. I rate it. Can't cap to you. You know, it wouldn't even surprise me if United go out there and beat Liverpool, and that might be lit. Because then the fake optimism can start. Do you see why? See why I hate United fans? Because they were excited, you know. They were capping. There's some good guys out there, but they always run as well. They're ready to give Arsenal fans shit, but they cut when it's their time. They're professional runners, bro. Really, Ren, stop running. When I say fuck, you say really, fuck, really, fuck, really. You're moving like Mash, you runner. Not Mash Pies. You know who it is. The guy that got my captaincy gone. But away from all of that foolishness, let's be serious now. Let's be serious, man. Let's be serious. What else you lot saying? Chelsea looks really strong. And with rumours of a few more signings, they look set for top 4. Early prediction, but I think it's going to be a battle of fourth between us, United, and Spurs. It's the same shit every year. Listen, banter aside, I wouldn't rule out United. Because if we go and lose our next 2 games, they go and win their next 3 games, what happens? A week's a long time in football. Look at Arsenal last year. It was all doom and gloom in August. There was periods it got a lot better. Obviously, you saw it happen at the end. So as much as I'm enjoying it, it is what it is. There's 36 games. Really, I hope you're getting false optimism from these comments as well. But bro, you have to be set. You have to be humble. You have to be humble. All we need to do is survive the summer, survive the winter, get into that January period, in and amongst the top four, maneuver until March, deal with March until April, get into May. Don't let your hard work become undone. Remember how it felt last year. Don't get excited. You know, last week's irrelevant now. Yeah, it's good to have 2 games on the spin that we've won. It don't matter. You take the positives from both games, you work on the negatives. It don't matter. Now let's focus on who we got next. Remember what it felt ultimately to crumble. It only matters where you started in August, which was terrible, and May was, well, August wasn't nice. We finished 5th. That's cool, but it was underwhelming. No one cares about in between. It doesn't matter about in between, really and truly. Like it does not matter. Just improve what you need to improve, do your thing, and we move. Yeah, there's 38 games, so there's 36 left. I can't lie. The United are still fighting for 4th. I wouldn't rule them out. We wish we were doing what they were doing this time last year. Fair enough. We had the youngest played Brentford, and there was COVID and that. We got savage, but we didn't get savage like that. You lot went out like some pussycats. I don't know for getting smacked up by the Seagulls. I'm being shameless. I know damn well they took 4 points off us, but that's a man thing, man. Big up DG. Xhaka is a big part of this team. He can always be upgraded, but he's doing his job. Exactly. I can't lie. They can't draw out Ten Hag. I think Ten Hag's only issue is he's naively believing that he can fix some of the. He needs to learn immediately that I need to drop someone out. This Maguire thing, certain things is not going to happen. But to a degree, you can only use what's available to you. They brought in Lissandro. They've got someone else, Eriksen, but they've not helped him out. They've spent money. They've had different gaffers. Since Alex Ferguson's left, they've had Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, Eric Ten Hag. Ollie was there. They've had bare different guys, and things haven't happened. So that tells you the structure of the club from the top around isn't there. One thing I'd give Arsenal over United, they seem to at this moment in time be committing to what Arteta needs, really, from Edu, from Josh Kroenke, Vinay, Tim Lewis, the players. Again, United are not doing that for Ten Hag right now. There's all politics above them and all these sort of things. So I think obviously Ten Hag took the job, but I think he's been done dirty. I feel sorry for him, really. Away from banter, I feel very sorry for him. But forget all of that, man. Man divided, that's a man problem. I don't know for that. Crazy out here, man. Still bringing on a Langer and that. Crazy. So Rashford next Mbappe, I hear it. It's lit. Boy. But yeah, anyways, Ten Hag will learn the hard way. He's getting done dirty, man. You're going to get flops. You Arsenal fans need to chill. We're chilling, bro. But let's be honest, you lot of shit and you talk nonsense. The game's the game. When it's Arsenal's turn to hold their licks, we'll hold our licks. You lot were doing hella chattings. You lot were doing so much chatting. Some of you were getting giggly over some performances in pre-season. Hold your licks. Don't do all of that chatting about Arsenal. Arsenal have messed up. When Arsenal have their day of losing, you're gonna talk. Just hold it. It's all right, man. Do you want a cuppa? I'll stick the kettle on. It's okay, bro. We can talk. It's okay. Eriksen got done dirty by De Gea. De Gea can't do the playing out from the back thing as well. Your first defender is your striker. United don't have that or someone that's going to press. They ain't got a midfield. Can't play out from the back. Doing Lisandro Martinez dirty. De Gea can't play with his feet. Obviously, it takes forever to get things into place, but you're dealing the manager a shorthand. You're just saying, oh, you're Ten Hag. You're doing all right in Holland, aren't you? Go and fix it. It don't work like that. Life don't work like that. Everyone needs to commit. I mean, I wouldn't rule out United because, as I said, if they go on a winning run, Arsenal Spurs going to lose in one. What we're saying now could be a week's a long time in football. So imagine 36 more of them. When we start winning, LEICESTER starts ghosting. Mums, I'll make you block on this channel. You're not even spelling correctly, bro. I mean, if we lose a game, you can banter me and Arsenal about losing. It's not the end of the world, mate. Chill out, bro. I thought Twitch was calm. Chill out, bro. Chill out, man. Just because you're not the kind of community I want, you're taking this way too seriously, man. You're getting voted out of this thing. Bye-bye. You're getting too excited. Taking it to heart, foaming at the mouth, blood. Relax, cuz. Relax, man. Arsenal fans need to chill. Come North London derby, we're going to give you a reality check like last time. That's great. But then again, it's 50-50. We won one, you won one. That's great, man. We haven't done too well in North London derbies, you know. That's great. What a trophy. Fantastic. We beat Chelsea, they beat us. We beat United, we beat them. You don't see them waffling. That's great. What happens? We lose a game of football. Do I lose my life? Do you lose your life? Do you get health? Football comes with that. Win, losing, and drawing. That's what it's about. Calm down, man. Just relax, bro. This is what football's about. There's no guarantee. I know if you're United or whatever, Spurs fans, you've never did it. You don't know what winning is. Winning could slap you in the face. You don't know what it is really and truly. But it's cool, man. Just relax, bro. Relax, man. Sun's shining. You got sexy old me with elite football knowledge. Just relax, man. Calm down. It's not that deep, brother. Calm down. Chill, bro. Chill, man. Chill, but away from that. Me scroll all the way up because I'm missing a lot of stuff. Just chill, man. Some of you lot take life way too seriously, man. Reality check, bro. You want brownie points for sourcing Arsenal, bro. Like Brighton and Southampton waffling about sourcing us. Oh, man. Tavares going for Marseille, but him going forward isn't the issue. It's what he does in the defensive third. There you have it. Like, we know Tavares can fly forward and be a madman and do mad things. That's a strength of yours. You're good at that. I'm gassed for the World Cup, aren't we all, man? Rajecki was humbled badly by Spurs. I mean, it's 2-2. If it would feel like a defeat if I was Chelsea, it would feel like a W if I was Spurs. Buki did. I actually don't think the angle I saw. I don't think Bentancur fouled Havertz. It looks like he got the ball, but you know there was Buki decisions. But I mean, if you offered both teams that before at the start of the season, 4 points on the board, it's calm, really. We got a Brazilian man. One of my guys switched from being a Man United fan to an Arsenal fan a couple of years ago. Well, he's a wet wipe, ain't he? Still dreaming of Pedro Neto in an Arsenal shirt. Not too sure about Tielemans after his game against us. Last season, they thought they would challenge for the league. Never let them forget. Trust me, DG, my brethren ain't answered since Saturday. See, they're runners, bro. Because when we lose, Relly Ren, I know you're out there. You're going to at me on Twitter. You're going to do the foolishness you do. You're going to FaceTime, man. But when it's you run, bro. These lot are runners. Runners. I don't know who Arsenal's mystery signing is, man. You're going to have to take that with their due, man. Asking why he went for Valencia. Also, on Xhaka, do you think he was more of a captain presence than Odegaard on Saturday? I don't know because I'd have to have been at the game, which I was watching it on TV. I'd have to be given all access to see. I don't know. I think Xhaka is more the standard sort of captain I am accustomed with over Odegaard, really. I'm not really with the... Odegaard obviously opens his mouth and talks and all of these things, but I'd say Xhaka is more a character I'm more accustomed to seeing, like not shouting for no reason, but talking and things. And I would have preferred that to have not necessarily Xhaka, but the Tierney's, the Ramsdales, them sort of captains over what we've got right now. Because now, unfortunately, on top of the obvious, man, I'm looking at Odegaard even more like, whoa, you're one of the more experienced players here. You got to do this, you got to do that. You know, I think Jesus could be or should be in that. I think it's been announced today. He should be in and among that leadership group. Everyone should just be a leader, man. Everyone just be a leader. We shouldn't always, because sometimes the captain's we could have the best leader. You think Tony Adams, any great captain of any club, you think there weren't times where they needed to be led or it weren't happening for them and we needed to help them? It's not a thing like that. So let's see what happens, mate. Very appreciative to you lot tuned in. So yeah, man. Only against Lisandro was tight, but that's going to happen. That is going to happen. You know, that's going to happen. I hope not, but I think Lisandro Martinez will look a lot better when United get their old habits. But obviously, his lack of height is going to be an issue. Just like if I'm a defender and I lack pace, in the Premier League, there's going to be times where my lack of pace is an issue. It's how the world works. I would say anyone that steps into that United team at this moment in time is going to look shit because the whole team's a shambles. Man, divided fans can't, because it hurts them. You know, Arsenal, Chelsea, Spurs, or even Spurs, definitely Spurs. They know about failure more than both the teams I said. But like we can not that anyone's happy, but we can humbly accept that we're not what we used to be, or where we are not anyways. United fans can't like ask, bro. I asked my bro Relly to say, "Are United good?" He can't say, "Are United a bad team?" Sorry, he can't say it. Like he genuinely foaming at the mouth that it's not a Sir Alex Ferguson thing. I ain't seen you buy a United shirt since what day, and I know why you're vexed. Don't think I never saw them snaps. Don't let me let to the people them know you was at the game at Brentford. True, say you live in London, so it's a home game for you. I had to. It's a cheap point. Guys really don't like Ben White. Do you think we dodged the Lissandro bullet? Well, based on how he's playing, yes. Now, then obviously, yeah, but he might have looked more lit at Arsenal. I would say the question mark would have been, how would we have used him? Maybe he could have been that left back and it would have banged, but, you know, he's played 12 times as a professional footballer, as a left back. So when we were scouting him and his capabilities to play wherever, the majority of the games were centre back. So he has to be an option there, really and truly, and have to be utilised there. And next 50 million or whatever United spent, to go with Ben White, to go with if that happened, I don't know if he'd be a left back in other areas. I definitely would have looked at it funny. But right now, yeah, but if he goes and plays amazing, it's not going to look like that. So we'll have to see, in my opinion, man. But it is what it is. I can see why Arteta wanted Lissandro for left back, but at centre back is Fugazi. Sandro Tonali, Declan Rice would be a solid addition. I mean, man said Declan Rice, that's going to cost peas, man. Man, fuck Gary Nev, man. The guy, listen, he's got all the comments when it's other teams. He just moves like a pussycat when it's his actual team. Fuck Gary Neville, pardon my French, with every fibre of my body. Prick. Again, apologies. It is what it is, man. Don't cry, man. Don't cry. So, yeah, we might have, man. So many United fans try to justify their current predicament and just looking at us. I mean, both teams are in a similar project. They're doing a transition. We're doing a transition. United will scrape 6 at best, and that will be down to the last day between them, Newcastle and West Ham. I don't know, man, because it's a long season, bro. DG, with everyone saying we look shaky defensively, you always say we are not a great defensive side, just an improved one. Is it just a case of switching out fullbacks, Tomiyasu and Tini? Nah, it's a whole collective. It's a whole collective. It's not just the defenders. It's our whole aspects. You know, sometimes we switch off. Like our mentality to want to score these good goals and that, it has to be there for clean sheets because we do goal switch it. We switch off. Largely, Leicester had nothing. We gave them something. You look at Leeds and Everton at home towards the tail end of last season. They got goals out of nothing, you know, with a Van der Beek. He's just making a run. No midfielders picking him up. I'm sure the Leeds one came from a set piece. So it's just about really craving that clean sheet. And against Leicester, I wouldn't say you could see the goals coming or say you could concede 2 goals, but nobody's surprised because the penalty incident, yeah, we got away with it. But the build up to that, there was them dodgy moments before. So these are the sort of things we've got to switch on with. Big up, bro. I think who we need is SMS. Who's that? Milinkovic Savic to upgrade on Xhaka and also a goal-scoring winger. We can compete. Easier said than done. Since De Gea became number 1 at Arsenal, the decline began. Bit harsh, you know. He's a Premier League winning goalkeeper there. And I remember he had the very tough period when he first joined it. Came from Atletico to England and he bulked up. Bit harsh, but you could say that. But it's a bit, you can't just blame it all on on De Gea. It's not just him. I thought Gabriel wasn't that good against Brentford. 60 million defender getting hooked at halftime could be a long season for him. It's a tough introduction, man, but the 6 months period for new signings is always going to be difficult. He would look a lot better if United looked less as a joke, really. And that's right. Well, I don't know about the terminology there, but yeah, De Gea did kind of help them. Thoughts about the Cucurella challenge by Romero every week. Romero, I like him as a defender, Cuti or whatever they call him. He gets away with a lot. Did he not clamp the living daylights out of someone at Southampton? Hair pulling, he got away. Boy, it's Fugazi, man. Any thoughts on Souness saying proper men at it regarding the derby yesterday and the backlash he's getting with people saying that that's sexist? Obviously, I don't think he said anything wrong necessarily. Obviously, you know, we advocate for all inclusivity and things, but if he's talking just in relation to the manager's handbags and on the field, then I understand why he said it. I always say, let men be men. So yeah, I don't know for Souness personally, you know, he is of the older generation. He probably holds some of them views, but I think it's a bit harsh and context is key really. But we live in a day and age, you're going to get cancelled for what you do say or what you don't say. He could have just said that, and now there's think pieces about oppression and all this sort of shit. Yeah, again, we probably need to move away from it. The proper men at it thing, I could see where it goes, but I'd say in football, for me, if I hear proper men at it, I'm just assuming handbags and whatnot, and not necessarily derogatory terms. But I can't speak for Souness, innit? But you open yourself out, innit, really and truly, if you say that. And I do think generally in this world, it's now a thing where legit causes, lights not being shed on legit causes and legit problems, because everything is cancelable these days. I'm not saying in even relation to this, everyone's offended by something, so it's all brazy and fugazi, but the world has to just keep moving, man. He has still. Maybe he should have been briefed by the PR team to chill out and not say that and whatnot and move away from them sort of ones there. Probably it would help him a lot, but yeah, man, it is what it is. We move, man. Ten Hag won't learn the hard way. He won't learn anyway. He'll get sacked. But again, they can't stop sacking guys, bro. I'm not saying Ten Hag's the answer, but they have to give him chances. What, you're going to sack him and then what? The new manager has to get his own players and this and that and the third and all the rest of it. What they should do is pull that. What he should do is say, boy, you lot, triple sessions tonight. You lot need to run. You lot need to do a lot of analysis, everything, man. Yeah, that's PR. Women too. Obviously, it's a women too thing, but he's just saying that because he knows what's going on. Obviously, I do think maybe he should move away from them sort of comments there. But yeah, man, in the grand scheme of things, if he meant something more sinister, then the book should be thrown at, man. We don't need another centre mid. Xhaka is super underrated. The box-to-box role suits Tim better. Okay. I mean, then Dean Henderson was doing a lot of chattings. When you chat, which I don't think he said anything wrong, but when you open your mouth, you know fans are onto you. And you boy, yeah, he looks a bit bugged. I don't know, man. Cedric should leave. Benny Blanco's not even a right back and he's keeping you at the side. My head would be hot if I was him. I wish he would leave, man. For all those slating Ben White, which centre back would you buy and replace him, and how much would they cost? What upcoming game would be Arsenal's biggest test? Every game's a big test, boy. We're going away from home in our next game. Obviously, if you're asking me to just look at it on a basic one, then clearly United, because it won't surprise me if United beat Liverpool and turn up against us. You know, well, the football is a random game. I'm all for backing managers, but unless Ten Hag adapts the circumstances, he should be shown the door. Brazy. Real issues getting pushed back to the side for little nonsense these days. Just make all issues murky and not clear. There you have it. Unfortunately, man. These days, proper men don't play football. A bit of a stretch there. You touch one guy in this league and the players fall over like a sack of potatoes. They always have. But again, you need to be able to play dark arts, because what is this proper man business or proper game business or whatever? What is that going to get you? You know, if I'm a professional footballer and I know in my heart I am not hurt, I can stay up. But it's the dark arts. If I know I can get a penalty, I can get a free kick, I can get you sent off, ultimately give my team an advantage, I'm going to roll over everywhere. Pause. I'm going to do all of that. Crazy, man. So yeah, what the likes saying, man? We should easily have 200 likes now, easily. Hey, 221. Someone could have said something. We go again. Let's start looking at what there is affecting Arsenal and all of these sort of things. Now, obviously, it's going to be a slow news day. There's F4 really. What I think we should do is go over to the Athletic. Sorry, timestamp needed to be there. Let's start over here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. We can. You got anything for me? Lie to me, man. Fabian Ruiz, Tonali, lie to me. Just Milinkovic Savic. I know we're not signing on. Some article just lied to me, man. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. Please, man. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, let's start with Ornstein's comments, man. Do you think Pepe should go on loan? Please, just he's a big man. Like, he's 27. He's my age, bro. He cut now. I like the guy, but it's the story's done. We've watched the movie now, man. Anyways, apparently Ornstein has said on Xhaka and Jesus leadership roles. Let's see what happened. Arsenal's promising start to the season continued with a 4-2 win over Leicester City, a result which maintains the feel-good factor around the club. It's a far cry from the start of last season when they lost their first 3 league matches, with players and fans alike clearly having brought in to the manager Mikel Arteta's project. United fans, don't cry, man. Tough times never lost. On the eve of the Premier League season, Mikel Arteta announced Martin Odegaard as the club captain. The Athletic has learned Arteta also nominated 2 other players to support him in his leadership roles, Granit Xhaka and new signing Jesus. Whatever you say about Xhaka, I think it's a good chance. And Jesus has a bag of leadership qualities, and it don't matter how long you've been at the club or you're 30, do the leadership thing. The latter pair, and that doesn't mean, you know, like we've seen in All or Nothing, Rob Holding needs to shut up. Ramsdale doesn't need to keep doing his thing. Tierney when required. Everybody, really, even Ben White. I wouldn't say he's necessarily a leader necessarily, but I do think he's, I don't know if it's the tattoos and the fact he could be on Love Island or something, but he opens his mouth quite a lot. Keep doing that. You don't need an armband. If everybody holds each other, first and foremost, if everyone holds themselves to an extremely high standard and doesn't demand anything else of other people that they can't produce themselves, everything should be good. Be the best you can be. One thing I find hard to take at Arsenal is, I know winning stuff it's a necessity for me, but it's not an assurance. We're not always going to win. But I remember as a young kid seeing Sol Campbell and Jens Lehmann, we've won the title at Spurs' ground. They wanted to take off each other's heads because of a clean sheet. Not because they want to fight or they're acting. They're chasing perfection. Perfection is an illusion, but you should always want that, you know. Complacency is a killer. The moment you believe your own hype, issues. But yeah, it's nice to see, man. So what, have we gone away from the mad leadership group thing, and is it just these guys? But it don't matter, man. Xhaka wore the armband briefly, and obviously even El Nene as well gets it here and there. Europa League, he'll be captaining it. Xhaka's selection as one of the squad leaders is significant because he was stripped of the captaincy by Emre in 2019, blah, blah, blah. Last summer, he was heavily linked with Roma. There was even some suggestions he might have been available in this current window. The only thing I would say about Xhaka, he's 29. For this role he sort of plays, he could get a new deal. He's loved by everyone at the club, and I think many fans accept it now. Not that you don't like him or whatever. I don't think Xhaka is as good as Xhaka sexuals make out. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he's a good player in the squad. I like what he brings to the table, but I think it should be upgraded on. My biggest worry is, whatever you think about Xhaka, if you just do the maths, whether he's playing deep lying, box to box, chaperoning at left center, left back, if whoever's there, you know, big character, 29, which is an exception to this young squad, plays every week, contracted until 2024. Maybe with an option of another year. He's 29. I don't know if he wants to see out his playing days at Arsenal. I don't know if he wants to try anything. Don't wait till Xhaka says, I want to leave before you replace that. And I can't lie to you, that is something. We've moved on players, but when I look at a lot of the players that have left this club, and some I really don't care that they've gone, it's always like they want to leave. I never got the vibe that necessarily we were saying to Laka it's over, even though I believe that. We was telling Marie, you need to go. It's always that they want to keep it moving, really and truly. But yeah, man, I think Xhaka should be a rotationary option, but it is what it is. So yeah, he was linked. Despite the speculation, blah blah, we all know we all know Xhaka stayed. I must admit, the Xhaka story is getting a bit boring. We get it now. With everything, you know, it's water under the bridge. We're cool now, really and truly. So rehabilitated his reputation at Arsenal. It was Mikel Arteta who persuaded him to stay. Blah blah blah. We know this. He considers him a natural choice to stand in for Odegaard. Jesus is an interesting choice. No, he's not. The man's he's grown up in front of our eyes. He's been at Manchester City. Yeah, the only crazy thing is he's been at Arsenal 2 minutes, but it makes sense. Half of these players have been at Arsenal for 2 minutes. You look in the team, who's really been there? Is some who's been there for time. Technically, Saka and Smith-Rowe, they've been there since babies, but he ain't been in the first team that long, really. So it is what it is, really. And he's always a lead. He's leading by example. He's leading on the pitch. Club and country. He's got a bag of experience, man. He's done what we want to do: win multiple Premier League trophies and do all of these sort of things, which probably we won't win the league anytime soon, but that's the ambition long term. So it doesn't really surprise me. We know he's got the perfect balance of humility as well as ambition. And you saw that against Leicester. You could see him evidently doing all of this. I know it's the small things, but as an Arsenal fan, we've been, neglected with that. We ain't really seen that, man. And they should. Everybody, whether you're English, Brazilian, everyone should be looking up to that. Like, don't get twisted. Just because you're young and you've just been around, you can't. Martinelli's not like a leader like these, man, but he's a leader for me. I've seen you when we were shit, bro. I've seen you want to play City when we've got Runnison in goal. So everyone just keep being a leader. What I would say, don't force it. If you're a leader by example, Don, just keep doing that. If you're not a guy that's going to open your mouth and do all of these things, don't just be you in it. You need guys that open their mouths, guys that will tell you effing shit, guys that don't say much when they speak, you listen. Everyone just be themselves in it. And for these leaders, they need to know. Xhaka might be able to say to Jesus, bro, you a shit, pattern up, and he's not going to get upset. You might say to, I'm just for example thing, he might say that to Smith Rowe, and Smith Rowe might do what bitch boys do, pardon my language, and get some feelings in that, and be upset, and that might make him go into a shell. I don't know. So it's all about, clearly they know what they're doing because they've been elected, but yeah, man. As you know, last week, the club threw a party at London Coley's training complex, people, where, long story short, all the staff were there, They all did their thing. The first team enjoyed a trip together to the Champagne's luxury spa resort in Tring, where that is a short drive northwest of London. While this provided an opportunity for the players to relax and bond, it evidently did not serve as a distraction, with Arsenal running out comfortable winners on Saturday. Must be lit, man. We're doing extracurricular activities and handling business. I heard certain Manchester clubs, their day off has been cancelled because they got stung by the bees. It ain't easy at all. Away from that, though, that's all it had to say, people. It spoke about Michael Edwards, but that's all Chelsea and Liverpool. It's not got nothing to do against us, man. Why are you shouting, bro? Arsenal could, bro. You got your 5 minutes. Everybody can see your comment now. Relax. Arsenal will concede goals. We should have conceded against Palace, and we did. Relax, bro. Stop spamming. You're ruining it for everyone. You got your 5 minutes of fame? Clip it. Show mummy. While you're showing mum, tell your mum, deluded top's here for us. You're going to have this one. You know how I get. I don't need a reason to take my top off, so let's keep moving. But anyways, Yeremi Tielemans fails Arsenal audition. I mean, you can say Martinelli runs rings around the Chelsea lad, so maybe Fofana will be right at place there. All this Fofana, this Konate, this Saliba don't know these brothers, even though he scored an own goal. It's all entertainment. But yeah, man, Tielemans was meaty in that game. Maybe his heart weren't in it. Maybe it was just a bad game. Who knows, people, really and truly. I don't know, man. Yeremi Tielemans fails Arsenal audition as Leicester continue to exist in limbo. I'm taking Tielemans. I don't think he transforms our team. I think he provides another option. And some of you that are waxing lyrical about Xhaka, you're not going to turn on him. I'm not talking about most fans. I'm talking about these fans that live in La La Land, and according to the 90 minutes, they draw mad conclusions. Anyways, Yeremi Tielemans, will see you next week, sang the Arsenal supporters. You're going to play for Arsenal, others sang. Wisely, Tielemans, who was substituted after an hour, kept his head down and quickly sat down despite being the home fans' adulation. If this had been an audition, he wouldn't be getting a call back. Okay, we know he didn't. Long story short, he didn't have a good game. Can we skip to what actually matters? Anyways, Arsenal have already spent 117 million on 5 new signings this summer. The Athletic understands there is a mutual attraction between Arsenal and Tielemans. A move now may only be made if the Gunners make room in their squad by moving on Granit Xhaka. But you knew Xhaka weren't going to leave unless offers came. Currently, that doesn't look likely as the Swiss international seems reborn in a more advanced role. I mean, he was doing that last season and he did well. Xhaka is an intelligent footballer. I know he sometimes does unintelligent stuff, but he's able to play multiple roles. We've seen, maybe not well, but he always tries a thing. He's played left back. He's played centre back. He's played deep lying. He's played by himself. He's done the box-to-box thing. He plays with integrity. But let's not draw conclusions because you're signing up for certain things, really and truly. I mean, all that matters, as I keep saying, if you're not going to sign Tielemans, fix it internally. You've got Fabio Vieira, you've got Zinchenko, you've got Smith Rowe, you've got Odegaard. They've all got capabilities to play as an 8. Fix it internally. The two went head-to-head in the hot heat of the midfield battle, and it was no contest. Tielemans struggled to influence the game in any way, while Xhaka was a constant menace, breaking into the box untracked, and he actually was unlucky to hit the post very early on, setting up Jesus for the first goal and scoring the third himself. Obviously, Tielemans was sat there admiring things, man. It was like watching a repeat of Pellegrini's display against Tielemans in the Conference League semi-final when the Roma captain would trap Tielemans when Leicester had the ball to nullify his ability to dictate the play and then athletically and aggressively break beyond him to cause havoc. There's no question Tielemans is a fantastic player and he remains the midfield schemer that makes Leicester tick when he's on form, and given the space, often he is still very effective even when he isn't given space. But there's one area of his game that has always been a weakness, a lack of running power and strength. Amen. And I'd say he does behave a bit like a tourist, like he sat there admiring. He was like the Arsenal fans, just admiring what's going on. You have to wonder psychologically sometimes with him and Fofana what's going on there as well, to a slight degree. That isn't to say he isn't athletic. He still regularly clocks up 12K per game in his 8 role, although he's naturally deeper than Dewsbury Hall, but he's not a powerful midfielder. No one is really. Who is powerful in the Arsenal team? Apart from Granit, I wouldn't even say that's powerful. But, you know, Odegaard get brushed. Zinchenko will get brushed. Lokonga will get brushed. El Nene will hold it, but ultimately get brushed. So, yeah, man. When Leicester signed Tielemans, he made an immediate impact, blah, 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 and his 16, 17 years of age. You know, Dennis Peretti came off the bench as well, the Anderlecht days. It is what it is. Tielemans' agents believe he can play at a much higher level than Leicester at a big club that regularly competes in the Champions League. Since when was we in the champs? Given the right role, he can. Tielemans also has that self-belief that at 25 and having spent 3.5 seasons at Leicester, he obviously feels the time is right for the challenge. That's why he's refused a new deal and allowed his current deal to drift into the final year. Sometimes players find a ceiling, they reach their natural level, and that is usually because there may be a facet of their game that is lacking to truly propel them to the highest plateau. That seems the case for Tielemans and could partly explain why types of clubs he would like to join haven't made a move for him. The other deterrent may be how much the deal would cost. Pardon me, bearing in mind he's in his last year. Okay. This is just a lot of waffle. I don't really care about Leicester's structure, but all right. So, yeah, man, that's that. He failed his audition. Is there anything else in relation to Arsenal? Boy. Certain man got targeted, boy. It ain't easy, Rey Mysterio. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It ain't easy. It's all mad. Every team will play on Martinez at centre back. It's all mad. But scrolling back over to Google Chrome, folks, let's spin the block on some. Nonetheless, let's get into what these have to say. Where should we start? Where should we start? What the fuck am I doing? I mean, no one cares about Cody Gakpo. That seems a myth. That seems a myth. Start from here, man. And I think it definitely is a Google Chrome saying. What's the scum saying? Arsenal have been in talks with Yeremi Tielemans' agent for several months, but they're yet to make an offer for their Leicester ace. I mean, tell us something we don't know, really and truly. Obviously, shout out Balogun and Nuno Tavares. They both bagged in Liga again. Bandulu penalty from Balogun, but it's cool. So it's just all Tielemans. Edu did go off to Spain, but apparently, you know, he weren't there on business. We'll have to see how that develops. Tielemans could leave for free. Cash-strapped Villarreal could be persuaded to sell one of their prized assets, Yeremi Pino, to Arsenal for the good of the club, which Emre kind of spoke about. An offer of 40 million euros, 33.9, massively drop off from 67.5 that they're initially seeking, could be all right. As you know, Edu went to Spain for whatever reason. More players to leave the Emirates. You hope Ainsley Maitland-Niles and Hector Bellerin are able to move away. Maitland-Niles hasn't worn the shirt in a competitive game since November 2021. Crazy. I mean, big up Xhaka. I got a lot of time for him, but I am tired of hearing the same old story now. Let's just draw a line under it. Hector Bellerin has attracted interest from Barcelona. It appears a myth. Apparently, Arthur Melo could be sold by Juventus. So, yeah, man, we might spin the block for that. Arteta absolutely loves one of his signings. His attitude is, I mean, we know he loves Gabriel Jesus, man. It's just nothing new. Oh, big up Arsene Wenger. That was from my own reading, I guess. No, nothing about new signings. Well, we know. I know you're not going to tell me nothing new, man. We're not getting out the hood. Shout out Nuno Tavares, as stated. What's this? Leicester prepared for worst case scenario over Yeremi Tielemans. What's that? Him walking away for on a free. All right, you have to consider that. Clubs have to offer. Granit Xhaka handed new leadership, bro. As we already know, everyone's just recycling the same old BS. We already know how good Gabriel Jesus has been. Let's just let the man develop. While I think he could become a serious player in Arsenal's history, he's going to have a lot to do to ever be mentioned with Thierry Henry and Dennis Bergkamp. He started well. It's not how you start; it's where you finish. I've seen certain players come in with high expectations, do nothing. Look, I wouldn't say he's a legend, but look how Aaron Ramsey used to be treated, and look how he was treated when he left. So let's just cool off, man. Let's just cool off, relax ourselves, and then see where it's going really and truly. Alwa could be going to Nottingham Forest, so them rumours there are truly put to bed. Arsenal have been told to pay 50 million euros for Yeremi Pino. But doesn't seem that there's too much here. World-class Gab Jesus told he has areas to improve as Zinchenko warns Arsenal's rivals that striker will get even better. Amen. Whatever you said. You can see it as well, how he works along with his attitude every day in training. He's an example to others. He's still young. Everyone still needs to improve things. He needs to work on a couple things like everyone, but the rest is unbelievable. He was good during all the years I spent with him. He's an incredible player, always hungry for goals, which is the best quality as a striker. He doesn't stop at all, and I'm so happy for him. He's the guy who's always happy for the team. I wonder how many fullbacks in our team will get more assists because of this now. And maybe that's someone that can finish it off when Odegaard does the little flick thing, which Eddie and Saka failed to do, and get us a goal of the season contender. The team always first and the club always in the front of any individual thing. Amen. The most important thing was the 3 points. That's so important. We need to be as a team. Amen. Zinchenko went on to say it's just the beginning of the season. I think we need to analyze. Still, we can see the 2 goals, and from a defensive line, that is a lot. That's why we need to keep going. But I'm so happy for the team and the club. We have an unbelievable squad. Everyone is working hard every day, and everyone deserves to play. We're an unbelievable team. I'm trying to do my best and do what the manager has asked me to do. We're trying to keep the ball better. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Amen, man. Really refreshing to hear that from I'd like to say the gaffer Zinchenko. And you, Zinchenko, you need to be a leader as well. Just because you ain't in this leadership group thing, don't mean you ain't got nothing to offer. Gabriel Jesus in the Premier League so far has the highest expected goals, has the most goals and assists, has the most touches in the up box, has the most take-ons completed. I'm here for that. All here for that. Arsenal and Tielemans have full agreement, but I have to make space in the squad for him. Could even wait till Jan or next season to sign the player. Pino is a real target. Arsenal trying to make space by offloading Pepe. Runnison is close to leave, and everybody's close. People need to leave. Runnison could be going to Turkey, which you hope that is the case for him. Crazy, which you can see there. Hopefully that is the case, man. Who's this? Once again, Arsenal have been linked with Brighton midfielder Moses Caicedo. He's just made the move to Brighton, so I don't buy that. And Brighton have showed themselves to be difficult negotiators. They asked for 30 million, which isn't the worst, really. They had Cucurella for a year, but having just lost Basuma and Cucurella, I don't think Graham Potter's men will play ball in that regards. Arsenal chief Edu may be working on 4 La Liga deals after boarding flight to Spain. Let's take that with a pinch of salt. 4 deals, how? So, it's you lot just making stuff up. I wouldn't mind Carlos Soler at all, really. He's got a year left on his deal, allegedly. Barcelona have ruled out a move for former La Masia defender. Doesn't fit Xavi's system. He can't take a throw in. How can he play for Barcelona, especially with what Xavi knows as Barcelona? It's fugazi, isn't it, really and truly? We've seen that. I think we've seen that. Oh, Zinchenko extended thoughts. Of course, I wish him well, and I never had any doubts about him because he's a world-class player in terms of his numbers. You can see it as well, how he works along with his attitude every day in training. He's an example. Oh, I think I've read this. He's a guy, I think we read some of this. He's the guy who is always happy for the team. The team is always first, and the club always in front of any individual thing. The most important thing was 3 points, and that's so important. We need to be as a team. You're right, man. I love that. We need to do a lot better. And obviously, United could be getting Anthony, but, Brazilian magic, why don't we get involved with that? But bit meaty in terms of transfer news, people. Dominated by Yeremi Tielemans. Again, we're under... In fact, the window's closed very soon. Isn't it next week or something? I don't know, really and truly. So, yeah, man. So far, so good. We need to improve. We need to work. That's the whole point of Arteta's system. Players rotate around positions. I never said nothing about rotation, but I'd expect that. It's kind of all right. I don't know what you're saying there, but shout out to you. Our being linked with Nottingham Forest. Crazy how things can change for a player in a year. Very crazy. Very crazy. But life, eh? Life. Pino played really well. You can tell he'll explode soon. Pause. Martinez's situation reminds me of when everyone used to target the Mertesacker for his lack of pace. Tough times never lost, my United fellows. People like Xhaka for what he offers. Absolutely no one putting him in the same bracket as Santi Cazorla and Fabregas. Who's putting him in there? Like, I'm speaking for myself. Who put him there? Xhaka is really hard to watch at times in the game, but he fights hard and never gives up. I mean, I'm cool with Xhaka. I think Xhaka is essential for if we're not bringing anyone else in. Smith Rowe one day will learn to play as a name. Mark my words. I was disappointed in Tielemans. I wasn't. What Tielemans does in a Leicester shirt is nothing to do with me. I thought we all were probably expecting him to show out and show why we're linked with him, but yeah, man. Guendouzi is a top player in the making, but Arteta thought he'd disrupt the project we move. I mean, it weren't an ability thing with him. He just couldn't behave himself. So you're out of the project, rightly or wrongly. I'm sure if you speak to Arteta and Guendouzi, I'm sure they both would have wondered that if they could do things differently. And I don't, I think Arteta was right. But what I would say for Arteta, it's easy to do that to Guendouzi. It's easy to do it to a past it Ozil. It's easy to do it to a past it out of form Aubameyang. I don't think there's anyone in the squad. I'm not advocating it, but one day there might be a player you need to play week in, week out. And we might have to see how they're going, really. But one thing with Arteta, for me, he's very calculated. I don't think it was a spur of the moment thing to draw out Aubameyang and say you're out. In fact, he kept a record of the misdemeanors. And I can't lie, it's brave because I don't know it, but just from watching all the laughing, it looked like Edu didn't really want to do that to Aubameyang, if I'm honest. So Arteta let his nuts hang in that regards, man. Get DG to 300 likes minimum today. DG Nation, appreciative to that. Shout out to you lot. Talking points have been in top form, as they always are. He just didn't behave himself, man. Big up DG, working, but always have time for your content. Ben White, Love Island, appreciative. Having seen the first two games in pre-season, where do you see Arsenal finishing in the table? As high as 4th, as low as 8th. We can be our best friends or our worst enemies. We've done well. Let's just keep working hard. Xhaka is our bootleg Patrick Vieira. Do you know who Patrick Vieira is, mate? Nothing like him. He can be yours, though. Shout out to Xhaka. He just granted Xhaka to me, but yeah, man. Haven't had a player that could create something out of nothing for a while in Jesus. Amen. Arsenal's transfer news seems quiet at the moment. I hope it's because we're moving in silent and not because Edu and Cole have taken their foot off the gas. Amen. And probably we need to work on some outgoings, man. I'm not saying Ben White is the best defender, but our centre-back options are good enough currently, and we shouldn't be worried about that position. Unpopular opinion, if you could bring another centre-half in, I wouldn't be against it. Please stop spamming. It's just going to get you blocked. DG, this is a period of keeping calm heads. Don't look too far ahead and concentrate on one game at a time. Arteta needs to keep these players as fresh as possible to challenge on all fronts. I hear that. Interesting comments. What upcoming game would be Arsenal's biggest test? Every game's a big test. Every game's a big test. But if I just had to look at fixtures, the United's our first woof. You've got United and Liverpool this week, I'm sure. I think Liverpool are playing Crystal Palace today. Obviously, Chelsea have obviously already played Spurs. We need to do ours, really. We're going to have our day. And this is why you give yourself a platform, man. You win the games you're supposed to win. Obviously, things are going to go left, right, and center. It's not always going to be a that thing. But, yeah. Crazy. Partey is even questionable as a signing. Guess what? That's around injury, lads. DG, I know he might be a bit raw and inexperienced, but I'd be willing to take a chance on Gakpo. I mean, if Arteta's done his due diligence and knows how to improve him, why not? Because them players, if they go to Dortmund and that, you'll get a tune out of them. But if you don't, they're just going to be like what you see with Martial and Rashford at this moment in time. It's just the same conversations day in, day out. If Arteta doesn't win anything and doesn't make top 4, should he leave? I think there has to be a fair question. As much as I'm a fan of Arteta, we need to remember what we're trying to do. I think if he fails to real progress this year, Obviously, context is key. How he misses out could be a factor that allows him. But yeah, man. I need Odegaard to bulk up before he does up the 8 row. Amen. And we all want Odegaard to learn how to control games, man. Easier said than done, but you would love to see it. Really would. Thoughts on Odegaard, wavy player? At least karma works. People are dismissing Arsenal and Spurs players, saying no one can fit first team at United. Not United, the best team in the land. With every player that's the best in the league, despite the fact, not United. Every manager has used Xhaka at Arsenal, but he wouldn't get into the Leicester team, bro. What are you talking about? Thought Maddison was decent against us. Would like him as an 8, but can't see it happening, to be honest. Iwobi currently playing as an 8. I can see the same for Smith Rowe down the line at Arsenal. So, yeah, we're not too long away from the window closing. Couple of weeks, really. Not too long to come. Not too long. My left back elite meant. DG, we have been linked to Calcedo. He looks lit. I would take Calcedo, but based on what I've seen, but I don't really buy it. Anything can happen in life. There probably is a degree of interest. If United were looking at him, the Ecuadorian international, when he was in South America and Brighton, maybe we had a South American scout pre in it, and obviously we didn't get him. So maybe we're monitoring it. Why wouldn't I want a good player? But I just can't see them doing it. Money talks. But yeah. This is what it is. Can't see anything else related to Arsenal. Nothing else with the Arsenal thing, man. Boy. Just you, me, and the talking points, people. There's nothing else. Try the thing. Martinelli, Saliba, Saka, 2024 contracts. Get them out. No worries, bro. It's difficult to tell the context. Part of me thinks we might be done in incomings and less deadline day signings. I hope so. I hope not. Apologies. Oh, it's funny to banter United, but it's 2 games. Just stay humble. Stay working. We need an 8 or a winger. I think we need both. If you could get a different left, if you could get a centre back, preferably left-sided, that's a bit different. That's, these are early 20s, someone that's late 20s, someone of the Pablo Mari profile that could actually be good and bring something to the table and be consistent. I wouldn't mind that, really and truly. Because I do think we're kind of light at centre back. I know there's Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel. Tomiyasu could be forced there, as could Tierney in the back three. Rob Holding only looks decent in the back three. Obviously, you can get away with him in defence and that, but when it's the tough games, he's not levels like that. I think there's a drop-off, really. What signings do you want that Arsenal had links to? I mean, I would have loved Fabian Ruiz. I would have loved Milinkovic-Savic. Would have minded Tielemans. Who else is there? Would have loved Rafinha, but it's that. What would be your priority position at number 8? I know it looks like it's bloated there, and it is, but midfield, we're going to live or die by midfield. If you could, I'd say on the same level, if you could find a goal-scoring winger, let's say he's available, would you take Martial? Because I like him, but I don't think he's fixing anything here. Odegaard is great. He just needs to make up more goals. I would say I want him to dictate the tempo of the game more than I want him to actually score or assist. I want him to get that, but I think Odegaard could run the show for us week in, week out. I really do. I think you just, not obviously he's not them, but I think you look at historically David Silva, you look at Kevin De Bruyne, you look at Bernardo Silva, Arsenal tax applied for Arsenal Football Club. I think he could do that. I think he's got the intelligence and stuff. Brazy decisions in that London derby, man. What do you think on how Mbappe was acting? I mean, he's acting like a twat. Would you take Rashford? Because I like him. But again, we've already got raw players, really. He'd be good to do Arsenal in the community and going to food banks and working and that. We need that. DG accepting cookies left, right, and centre. Watch the diabetes, my God. To be fair, that runs in my family. On a serious note, I really do. I really do. I know there's question marks over him, but I really think we'll struggle to find a centre mid as good as him for less than 40 million. Are you talking about Tielemans or Xhaka? Fair enough. Top 4 predictions, I don't know, man. Chelsea, no, the Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and then one of United, Arsenal, Spurs, whoever stinks up the place the least, innit? You could leverage Arsenal improving. You could talk on the experience factor of Conte, and he demonstrated getting them over the line, which was a terrible season for Spurs. He made it better and got fourth. United have lost their 2 games. It looks a bit mad, but if they go on a run of form and do exactly what Arsenal said, then what in it? Yeah. As I said, I think Arsenal could finish as high as 4th, maybe if third's debatable, and as low as 8th. We've got to be our best friend or our worst enemy this season. Chelsea still trying to get this Anthony Gordon, brother. Fair enough. Chelsea like cheating. They need divers, innit? Golden Boot winner, I hope Jesus, but you'd probably have to put money on Salah, Kane, Son, Haaland. These sort of guys, man. Hello, mate. Right, I said Rashford, I'd rather no one. Odegaard just needs to be more confident and know when to shoot or pass in the final third, I think you meant to say. Backup left centre back, backup right winger. I hear you, but if I don't want a backup winger, I want someone better than what we have. Or someone with scope to be better than what we have. I think we've already got congested areas now. If you're not bringing in better or scope to be better, obviously, if you can get a squad player that can do a job, well, I'm not talking about that. But if you can't bring in what Wenger used to say, a super player, then I don't think there's a point, really. If they're not genuinely going to threaten Saka, Smith Rowe if he plays out there, Martinelli spot out wide, or even able to play up front, I don't think there's a need, man. Who's your favourite player outside of Arsenal? Neymar, Mbappe? I hope he can. I don't know for Cesc and that, but I think Odegaard's got the capacity to do it. You might lose his link-up play all the time with Saka, but it might give us greater attacking impetus, and I'm so here for it. Like, so here for it. And I think it's required. I think it's needed, man. It's needed. I'd love someone like Ndika. I think he's all right. Looks a bit booky. You know, definitely capping with that Mbappe chat. How can you tell me who I like? Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, these sort of guys. Respectfully, I don't know you from nowhere. Like, how can you tell me who my favourite footballers are outside of Arsenal? Like, where's B? Another Twitch one. He will tell you. Me and him argue all the time about Kylian Mbappe. He's saying he's overrated. He's not technical. He's a pace merchant. I'm saying, what are you talking about, fella? How do you think it will affect the team if Odegaard started to get benched in favour of Smith Rowe Vieira? Obviously, you don't want to see a captain bench, but it lets you know anyone's droppable, innit? If Jesus ain't doing the business, if you get dropped, anyone can get it. It's just down for Odegaard to be mature and lead from the front. Say in the next 5 years, Arteta brings Arsenal to the standard. Do you think he should retire with Arsenal and move on like Pep? It's very naive, isn't it? Like, let's be honest. This love drama is gonna. We hope that Arteta can do something, and he's got a good thing going for himself. But let's be honest. You know, this is a man that turned down the Arsenal job to stay at City, so he thinks with his head and not necessarily his heart. This is someone who didn't grow up in London, didn't grow up as an Arsenal fan. You know, he's come to love the club and that, but is what it is. And the long gone are the days of Sir Alex Ferguson and Arsene Wenger. Yeah, you look at Pep, Klopp, these men look long-serving managers, but this guy took his job in the early 40s, and he's already gone through a lot at Arsenal. You know, I'm sure he's got other ambitions. I just hope by the time you're done, we've achieved certain things together. And cool, innit? But it's probably naive. He's in his early 40s, bro. It's naive. He's never going to do that. With scope to be better for sure. Someone from another league who needs a little time to bed in. No, I don't know about that. Forget all of that. They're going to need time anyways, but there's no point bringing in people they bed in just to disrupt the progress. Saka was overplayed last year, which some fans said he was all right. Go and do this thing. If you could find someone in the short to medium term ready to do this, why not? Who knows? Maybe that Marquinhos guy is the one. I don't know. He looks good in the under-21s, but yeah, man. Barca have asked around 30 million fee for Aubameyang during the weekend. Chelsea wanted to spend way less than this. Talks continue as Marcos Alonso is still part of the conversations. Tuchel pushing for Aubameyang as a priority. Xavi insists on keeping him. It's a hype, bro. Mbappe's close control isn't good and teams put low blocks to nullify him. Cool stuff, man. Odegaard's very important for the system that Arteta wants to play short passes. And then they can play short passes, bro. Well, it's good for him. Then he's a professional footballer. He should be able to play 85-yard passes. Are you confident with Martinelli to score over 15 this season? Listen, let's just try and get double figures in it. Let's just keep improving and see what going on. Let's just let Marquinhos, for me, he looks still a bit shy. He looks like a young lad. He just needs to see the personality. I think you can see a man that's adapting on and off the field. I think once he gets that, I think he'll start being involved in the match day squad, whether that's on the bench or whatever. I like him a lot. I just think and it's a lot, but it's a young 18, 19-year-old coming from Brazil and being in London and things. He looks fairly strong, every now and again, fantastic technical level, looks to take on his man. Still an area of adaptation, but he looks all right. Clearly got an appetite for goals, but, he's significantly more experienced than a lot of them 21s, really. Be interested. Is he going to stay and then monitor his development in January? Can he play and mix it in the 23s, train with the first team, play for the under 21? Sorry. Do you find him alone somewhere and then assess him next year? I don't know what's going on there. As long as that 3 million turns into substantially more, I'm all right. And then hopefully he progresses. Yeah, man, he weren't amazing. It all depends on the loan, though, man. When he was linked with Wolves in them articles that are always resurfacing, 287 likes. Let's keep running that up. Can we get to 300? When he was linked with Wolves people, they were talking about loaning him to Grasshoppers. Where's that? Like Switzerland or something. So make of that what you will. What's going on here? Oh, YouTube, don't shake me. Sorry, folks. Can you lot still hear me? I'm on my YouTube manager and it closed. What's going on? You lot still hear me? Am I still active? Zurich. All right, yeah, one love. So I don't know what that was, man. DG, we're making signings for our pro clubs 23s. You any good? Brother, I'm a brand, bro. It's Mesut Ozil. It don't matter if I'm good or not. It's a brand, bro. People deluded in your team, bro. Lie, bro. I'm on this Mesut Ozil thing. It's a brand. Pogba easy lifestyle. I'll score goals. Do you think Pepe is done at Arsenal? Do you think he's gotten enough chances to prove himself? I wouldn't say enough chances, but I would say for me personally, I'm at where I'm at. Why I'm at where I'm at is I don't think Pepe is amazing, but it's not an ability thing. When it's not an ability thing, I kind of don't have patience for it because it's not that you're good or bad. Your ability, it's the other players. I personally think it's how good are the other players at their worst. Like when Saka's underwhelming, he still significantly impacts the game a lot more than Nicolas Pepe. The same for Smith Rowe and Martinelli. I do think Pepe has been done unfairly, but he's had a lot of managers. I do think he can play the football we want to play, but I don't think he can play it to the level the others could play. We're at where we're at. End of the day, he's contracted for just over like 2 years, 2024, and he's on big wages. So he's chilling, he's cooling. I think Europa League, that's him. I don't think Arteta trusts him, and I can't blame him. I wouldn't have brought him on against Crystal Palace. Based on how we were defensively, I wouldn't have brought him on against Leicester. Pepe is one of them players. He could come off the bench or start a game. He's 20 million out of 10. The next week, he's -3 out of 10. And we're at 27, man. Is it just me or do you look like a young Pepe? Oliver, ask your mother, man. I don't know. If she likes that, I'll be whatever she wants. If she's a Spurs fan, I'll be a Bergwijn for the night. I heard Bergwijn scored a hat-trick. I'll definitely score a hat-trick right there. No Jimmys. Calm it down, man. I know I look like some people, but yeah, man, not every blackie looks the same, man. Patting yourself. I'll score goals, blood. Appreciate all of you lot who could say you can still hear me. Yeah, I like Yeremi Pino. I don't think he immediately improves what we've got. But again, if Mikel Arteta, the amount of wingers we've been linked with are various standards, some we never got Rafinha or Gnabry or Sane, whether they were agent-led or not, they're kind of ready to impact us right now. They're almost dream signings. Then you've got, ironically, Pepe of Porto. You've got Cody Gakpo, he was linked with us. To a degree, you got Bowen, who's probably, in terms of development, a step ahead of them, a lot closer to where he needs to be than them. You've got more, long story short, you've got more polished players and more real players, wingers of all varieties. So there's got to have been some element of, there's a 19-year-old playing in La Liga, playing under Emre, doing well in the Europa League. He's played against us when Arteta was the gaffer. He's played against United and Chelsea. He has to have been scouted. If the talent ID is what you want, cool. At the time, when we was asking for a goalie, I can only speak for myself, and I'm sure some of you may disagree or agree. when we heard keeper, I don't think many people. I was cool with Ramsdale, but if you gave me the money, I wasn't saying go and get him as a keeper. 50 million for Ben White, I wouldn't have said that for a centre back. But Arteta did. The talent ID was calm. You know, if that's what you want to do, then and you've scouted him and not just his strengths, you know his weaknesses. Cool, make it happen. I don't know what going for Ainsley. What I know is his girlfriend not got a thingy. A young kid, does she want to give birth in London? Does she want to give birth abroad? He's got a family to think about, really. Is there offers for Ainsley Maitland-Niles? Does he feel he can break into the team? Does he want his loyalty bonus and to run down his deal? I don't know what's going on with Ainsley. Another one who's got a new, well, not too recently, got a new agent and ain't patting nothing. So we'll have to see. I mean, Fabian Ruiz is a silky player, but that's as far as it goes, innit? Wanted him when he was in Spain, wanted him at Arsenal. It's a myth, man. I mean, you come to deal with it, man. You come to deal with it, bro. I'd love Pepe. I mean, with Pepe, it's Europa League thing, innit? Would love to see Pepe have a run in the cup matches when they start and see what happens. At the very least, he can provide rest for Saka in the opening rounds. I hear that. It's sad. I just think Pepe's done, and if you know, I would still utilize him. I do think he's been done a bit dirty, but if Arteta don't believe in him for whatever reason, I don't mind. I don't get the vibe Pepe is consistently focused. He seems like he's just a calm guy, man. Not Aubameyang, but like a bit on the Aubameyang thing. He just takes everything in his stride, and Arteta seems a stickler for just a madness in it. So there you have it. Where is my Arsenal shirt? I'm going to shout at you lot after this live stream. I want my shit. I've never waited so long in my by the time it comes. It's been long enough now. It's been over a week. Where's my shit? Is Saka's role being affected by Ben White at right back? Maybe, but I wouldn't say no. You know, if anything, Ben White's a lot more attacking, and Saka's going to have to deal with that. You know, if a new right back comes in, if Ben White continues there, if Tomiyasu comes back in, it is what it is. In the all or nothing, Arteta said last season there's a group of players that are laughing too much and don't train hard enough. Pepe strikes me as one of those just because he's not even getting subbed on. I don't think he trusts Pepe, and there's sometimes I wouldn't trust Pepe if I'm honest with myself. You might get Pepe the FA Cup run, or was it Watford or Villa away where, boy, he was trying his hardest to fuck that up. Trying his hardest. What I would say for Pepe, he deserves to be somewhere he can get a fair chance. And Arteta deserves people he can use for. You know, we're in a very unique situation that currently, I don't know, maybe we're the Galacticos in football, but we know people might be moving on. But we've got a 70-odd million pound man that can't get nowhere near an academy prospect spot in the team. We've got arguably a third choice right back on 100 grand a week. Are these luxuries we can really afford? Hector Bellerin, we know he's leaving. He's nowhere near the first team. You know, Ben White can play right back, but he came as a centre half. He's ahead of you. Cedric's ahead of you. You know, Tomiyasu miles ahead of you. You're with Ainsley and them sort of man there, which is brazy. Well, we need another target. If Tielemans don't arrive, I don't know. I'm waiting to wake up to see when the Arthur Melo rumours resurface. See, yeah. And I'm not just going to get at him because in France last year, I can't remember who they played, but Saliba did that in the game. Young players, people are going to do things. But I must admit, for Pepe, who's 27, for Xhaka, who's not made any mistakes, just to paint a picture, for Xhaka, who's 29, for Partey, who's 29, you know, for Cedric when he comes in, I have little patience for the more experienced players. I'm not asking you to be amazing, but I can accept young players fucking up. I can accept anyone messing up. Mistakes happen. No one goes out there to do things on purpose. Man, they're human. But I have high expectations on you. And even when you break down the youth thing, I have high expectations on Odegaard and Jesus, to a degree Saka, than I might have for, I don't know, Eddie and Nketiah at this moment in time, really. And even Eddie, there's now added expectation. You signed a new deal. You're number 14. You showed me improvement. I'm never going to ask, if I don't rate you, I'm not going to ask you to do anything. You know, and I'm never going to ask a player to do a madness. I'm not going to ask Cedric to be on the level of Tomiyasu. I am going to demand you do the best you can. Same goes for anyone in this team. If you give me everything you got, what can I ask? What can anyone ask? You can't ask anything more. So we have to see how that one develops, man. But yeah, man, don't forget 4:30 Twitch gang. We're playing FM. Well, to be honest, we need to do that. Do the what do you call it? What do you call it? The updates, man. I want to play with Jesus in an Arsenal shirt now. Tubby's getting stacked. Do you think we should cash in on Tierney if a good offer comes? If there's an offer too good to turn down, but it's Tierney FC. Take the L with Pepe and cut our ties. If we sign a winger, that's definitely him. Done. Saka does a lot more defensively. Exactly, and that's what I mean, Black Sheep. When I say at your worst, Saka's more switched on, and I think he can improve defensively and has based on the last game. Pepe can't be trusted, and respectfully to Pepe, I don't know, because it could be wrong. It just seems like Saka's I'm not saying Pepe's not intelligent, but Saka just seems like an intelligent lad. Like, you can tell him, yo, I need you. Once he gets the ball, go and do this. It don't look like Pepe's able to consistently relay what the gaffer wants. Pepe's game looks, and it should be the opposite. Saka seems a bit more calculated. Pepe seems a bit more on instinct and stuff. And the young, early 20-year-old should be playing on instinct. The 27-year-old should be calculated. You should be one of the most reliable players in the team. If it was just on ability, Pepe's near the height. Like, in terms of just natural ability, in my opinion, Pepe's probably top 5. Just natural ability in that Arsenal team. Pepe's there. Jesus, Pepe, Odegaard. You know, I'd have to think about the next two, but I would say they're there, really. Unpopular opinion, I'd probably, off the top of my head, throw Zinchenko into that. But there's more to football than just that. Shout out, deluded Uncle Ray's was a vibe. Was you there? Why you say, well gone? Pepe's probably been mistreated, but you've had different gaffers now, bro. We've done all of this. Pepe's had different gaffers. He needs this right back, playing false 9. He needs a run in the team. And I just think, in general, it isn't fair to give someone one game and then just drop them after. You look what it did for Eddie playing all the time, but it's long now. There's got to be a reason, bro. Like, we're late in the day now, man. We're late in the day, man. Do you think it may be a case of tactical digestion Pepe may have an issue with? Probably. I do think there was times last season Arteta was violating Pepe. I remember Tavares coming on as a winger. I was thinking, right, if you trust Tavares away from home, then it all goes out the window, really, with his comments with Pepe. But Gaffer could do what he wants, man. It's time to move on. It's done, bro. It's done. I can't. It's unfortunate. He can leave an FA Cup winner, but it is where it is, man. It's done now. It's over now. Like, yeah, bro. DG, what's your thoughts on the left back situation? Who's first choice? Because in my opinion, I think Zini over Tierney because he suits Arteta's style of play more than Tierney. A bit harsh on Tierney because last season there was all just documents and stuff over, you know, how Tierney provides the width, Tomiyasu tucks in. It all depends what you want, really. If you want more out left backs, if it's time to be in the trenches, it's a Tierney thing. But like with everyone in that team at this moment in time, no one deserves to be dropped. So right now, Zinchenko's spot to lose. So hopefully you see a better Pepe or you see a better Zinchenko or Smith Rowe or whoever's not in the starting 11. Hey, what? Love my kid. I can't allow it burst because you might have. Man, I was finished. Still. It's a vibe. And the next one. Where's the next motive? Pepe is man management, DG know that. And to be honest, Arteta don't owe Pepe nothing, bro. Like, you should be using him. You don't owe him nothing. If I prefer these guys and not you, it's calm. There was a time Martinelli weren't playing and everyone was like, oh my God, Arteta hates him. He's going to leave. He's going to this. He's going to that. Clearly, Martinelli's done whatever the gaffer wants. You're starting now. It's your spot to lose. And I don't understand that. I would like to see Pepe be off the bench a bit more and all them things. I don't know. Honestly, I'm as baffled as you lot. Honestly, I don't think Arteta's fully right. I don't think Pepe's right. I'm more leaning with the manager because you're here longer term. You're the gaffer, innit? You're picking the players. Do I pick out the collective or Pepe? The collective wins every time, innit? So it is what it is. Like, there's nothing else. Like, it just is what it is, bros and girls out there. It is what it is. Where the problem is he costs big money, he's on big wages. You'd be lucky to get him to leave with an option to buy, sort of thing. And when you look at the 2024 stuff, Granit's contract, Saliba's contract, Saka's contract, Martinelli's contract, Cedric's contract, provided these guys don't move on. I don't know if there's an option of another year in Reece Nelson or Ainsley Maitland-Niles' deal, especially with Reece, who's now injured for a couple of weeks. So again, and there's probably others that are 2024 that I haven't mentioned. So we're gonna have to see how they all develop. Really, Pepe or Maguire. Like, Maguire's been a worse signing than Pepe. Allow it, bro. Pepe has won us games and done some dirt. When has Maguire looked decent? And I'm not, they're all dead. You know, them two, Lukaku and Ndombele, they're just L's, bro. To be fair, I hear that, but didn't Arteta say yesterday or Saturday, oh, we took off Jesus because he's not used to doing all of this and that. Edu is apparently getting Pino. I hope so, bro. I do find it funny how, even though I myself included, we're all fitness experts and we're all talking about risks and that. 72 million, 72 million, whatever it is, bro. I don't even think we've probably hit all them variables. I don't even think it's 72 million, but whatever we've given them in guaranteed payments is probably too much. People on my channel used to fight me. I can't lie. There's been 3 players I've been right on: Tavares, Pepe, and Lacazette. Only because I watch football. I told you that Pepe is not going to be that talisman. It's been a good 18 months when we signed him. He needs to relearn. That's a £20 million player max. We got finessed. It's cool. People ate off that, man. It's all right. It's all right. Bro, stop spamming, man. Killing it. We need to get players in first, then clear out. I'll be really upset if that don't happen. It'll be another missed opportunity. At least we have Europe now, so we should see more of Pepe, but he's still going to have to play with that second team, which means I doubt we'll see the best of him. But again, the minute it gets to the serious rounds of the FA of the FA Cup, of Europa League, of anything, I'm not saying Pepe has obviously done damage for us in big games. You know, there was the last 2 seasons, apart from the one that's just gone, he's probably been our better player in the second half of the year. But once it gets to the real crud rounds of them tournaments there, he's not playing. None of these youngsters are playing. We think about it logically. Would you do it? You can play them all in the group stage because, well, you can get through that. But once it gets to the knockouts, are you not going to play your strongest team? Or at least the majority of your strongest team? Yes, rotation and that will have to come, and inevitably we're going to be sat on this live stream and we're going to be sitting there and going, oh, do we focus on Europa League? Do we focus on top four Europa League? It's going to happen. It is what it is, man. We've probably paid Leo something like 80 million max. I don't know, man. Do you think it's a myth, Edu, that Edu can't sell? I mean, what significant sales? What was he here when we sold Joe Willock? Well, yeah, Edu, he's not really known for hustling, is he? When I hear ask for Pepe to play, I always ask them, who are you dropping? To be fair, this is probably the strongest case of dropping Saka for Pepe based on the last 2 games. But even that, I'm not on that. I hope Jesus can get 20 goals, bro. We need that. That's the thing. He's a good guy to, you might just bring Pepe off the bench. He might cost you or he might win you the game. And I think that's that sort of stuff Arteta's not really on. That's my point about how good are you at your worst. Saka can still put in a certain level of performance. But bring everyone with the name Gabriel, man. Pepe just needs to step up or leave. If he steps up, great. If he doesn't, great. It's just, we're here already now, innit? He's 27. To be fair, he did get 20 appearances in the league last year. I mean, how many were starts and actual 90 minutes? But let me actually see. How many appearances has he actually made for Arsenal Football Club? Like, it's not the writings on the wall. We'd all love it to look like a new signing and show quality, because then we might not need another winger. But how many appearances have you actually got for Arsenal Football Club? You've played 80 times in the Premier League, 16 goals, 9 assists. Really should be over 100 appearances in that right now. Played 112 times in general for Arsenal, 27 goals, 21 assists. I think he would have left if there was no AFCON, you know. Body language, therefore, a massive thing for Mikel. How many goals do you think Saka and Martinelli will score this season? I hope they can get 10 plus minimum in the Prem, as they have the ability and should be aspiring to. Them two, Odegaard too, Eddie, depending on how long we play. Pepe's comp fooled you lot, bro. I tried to tell you lot. 15 sub appearances last season, exactly. It's a bad sign for Pepe that no clubs are coming in for him. Incorrect clubs have offered Pepe, don't want to go to them. And I can't blame him. I'm 27. I'm living life in London. My family's probably cool. I probably like the environment I'm at. Money is a very important factor as well. You're under no thingy to move. The writing's on the wall. You know, he's contracted until 2024. Xhaka will probably get a new deal before him. And that's that. Who will score most goals, Saka or Martinelli? If I had to bet money, I'd say Saka, but I think Martinelli this year, funny enough, you know. Hope it's a breakout season for Arsenal with Martinelli, man. But I don't know, man. So yeah, man. It is what it is. It really is. We at 300 likes. Yeah, well over it. Shout out you lot. So yeah, man. But I can't lie, people. I can't lie. It's time for me to go on coolArsenal.com and trace down my pink shirt. And then it's time for a quick gym session all before I'm back online at 4:30 to play FM with you lot on Twitch, people. So yeah, man, it is what it is. I hope they all score a goal. But realistically, Xhaka probably will get a new deal. There's more use for Xhaka in this squad right now than Pepe. If you're honest, you know, it's pretty clear. But yeah, people, man, I've been here for 2 hours. I don't want to hang around like a bad smell. It's always difficult to leave you lot. But yeah, you lot stay blessed, stay safe. 11:30s every day. It is what it is. Smash the like button, subscribe. Appreciative of your talking points, giving up your time and just your general support. Hope you lot are having / in the process of having a great Monday. And I hope this week is prosperous for you lot, first and foremost in terms of health, your loved ones as well, and obviously your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. One love for supporting the team. In a bit.
There's always just that active red flag. Defenders, I think, is like.